cold. We take our loot but don't get old.
All right, guys, the time is finally now. We are here with the final week, or I shouldn't say week, but the final entry in our Eternal Challenger League Season 1 qualifier bracket. So today, guys, we have some pretty serious competition. In round one, we're going to have Dob plays versus Zeramis. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the bracket. So we're going to have Dob plays and Zeramis here in their first best of three. The second best of three is going to feature a showdown between Lotus Moon and Gojira. And the winner of these two best of threes will be facing off in our best of five finals to earn one of the last pieces of 8. So, hopefully I updated the pieces of 8 from last week, but we'll go ahead and check here in a moment. But regardless, this is going to be it. I'm very excited for today's showdowns. And guys, welcome. Thank you guys so much for joining. And after this, it's going to be a couple weeks because of, the New Year's and Christmas and the holidays and everything. But probably in the middle of January, I'm going to be having the grand finals, which is going to be an big 8-man tournament, heavy duty all day. It's going to be a really fun event. Tons of giveaways, all kinds of stuff. So, all right, guys, it is time. So here we are. Dob Plays is going to be playing the Dark Elves against Zeramis, who's going to be playing the Skavens. They're going to be pretty awesome. Oh, yes. Welcome, guys. Yes. Intro should be with Wookiee headbanging. Yo, the intros are supposed to be a little bit long for the streams, just so it can let more people gather, because I don't want people to miss the first game just because I started right away. That's the reason why there's a bit of a buffer there. So hopefully you guys don't mind. Start when ready. Go time. Welcome, guys. Welcome. And thank you, Blake, for starting it off with the fat $2. Looks like it's Canadian dollars. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. And welcome to the stream. Yeah, Dob is probably going to play the Empire, I would imagine. They're working out their later factions, but the first matchup is 100% going to be Dark Elves versus the Skaven. So a lot of you guys wanted to see Skaven in a competitive format. Zeramis, apparently, I don't know if I've seen him play, but I've heard. He was actually referred to me by some other tournament players. He seems to have quite a reputation as being a very, very good player. So yes. The Who Would Win is actually being edited right now. So yeah, Sotek and I did record that. Yes. Go time. Yeah, so good luck to all the competitors. It's going to be great. Yeah, and the reason why the intro is a little bit long, like I said, I have the repeating version of the Tattered Sail Shanty as well as the Doom intro. It's just to let the players pick their armies a little bit. It gives me time to set up everything while, people are gathering and to make sure that more people can see the first game, because had I started it, we'd have like maybe 60 or 70 people in here watching the first game. And now there's a couple hundred, right, who aren't going to be missing that experience. So that's the reason why I do it, if anyone's wondering. Let's see here. All right. Go time. Yeah, drop the likes. Here, Zach, I have an idea for you too. 1 second. Yeah, there you go. All right, yeah, but as far as the matchup goes, I think it definitely favors the Dark Elves a little bit. I just think, Dark Elves are one of the best factions in terms of like top tier gameplay. The Black Ark Corsair Handbows are really good against Skaven. They can take out most of their Plague Monk style units, their Rat Ogres. They're very effective in melee. It's tough. Not to say the Skaven can't do it, but I think it's a much harder task for the Skaven. That would just be my opinion. All right. And thank you, Ivan, for the donation. Hey, Turin, can we see a Dawi rush build the next few weeks? Sure. No backline, just blobs of hammers and rune buffs. Yeah, I mean, I love doing that. I actually had a game like that a couple weeks on the channel, where I had the Peak Gate Guard, a couple hammers, double runesmith with High King Thorgrim, and it was pretty awesome, for sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, no, I love... Dwarves are a good faction. And I actually just played in the All-Comers tournament for Lore Master of Sotek, put on a tabletop tournament. And you guys will be seeing the rundown on my channel in the next couple days. But second here, let me get rid of the screen blocker. Wookiee, you have served us well, and we will see you back in the next match. But Lore Master of Sotek had a tabletop tournament a couple days ago. I believe it was on Thursday or Friday. And each player gets to bring one list, right? And that's it. It's just like if you're going into a tabletop tournament for 40K or Warhammer Fantasy Battles, right? You bring one list and you fight. It was very fun. There's a lot of cool competitors. Exploding Hamster was in it. Just all kinds of... And it was really fun. I liked it. I played Vampire Coast, and I'll be putting up a video. You can watch it now on Sotek's channel, but I'll also be putting up an analysis video of it in the next couple days. Let's see here. Did I miss something? Jason Denny, thank you for the $20 donation. I shall pay for Dov since he's already playing and cannot pay. Thank you, man. Thank you. I'll have to take a look at Dov's tier list. Yeah, I haven't looked at it. Yeah. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and take a look at the armies. For this Skaven, it looks like we're going to be seeing a bit of an aggressive Mortis Engine style of play. He does have the Grey Seer with the Lore of Plague. So you can see here he's just going to be going with the Pestilent Breath and the Summons, which is pretty cost effective. Maximizing the Summons. The Breath attacks are pretty good against like Dread Spears, Bleak Swords, all those kind of things. Lightly armored targets definitely take a lot of damage. And this Rat Ogre is, look how jacked this Rat is. He's just going to town on that thing up there. So on top of that, we have a couple groups of Night Runners here in the forest. Gutter Runners with Poison looks like they're going to be teamed up with the Night Runners. So pretty good against Witch Elves and just counter skirmishing in general. So quite excited to see how they do. On top of that, he does have a couple groups of Rat Ogres. I think he has like 2 or 3 in total. Looks like there's 2 here. And he does have a Doom Wheel here in the back. So the Doom Wheel is not bad. Double Doom Wheel. So this is a very aggressive Skaven build. So yeah, double Doom Wheel, Rat Ogres, a bunch of Clan Rats in the front line, which is not Clan Rats, Skaven Slaves. So yeah, this is kind of typical for Mortis Engine style play, right? You just send in the Skaven Slaves and, you know, the rat and just the cheap rats. You let the Doom Wheels and the Mortis Engine effects do most of the heavy lifting, which I think is going to be pretty good. Again, another group of Night Runners and Gutter Runners. He probably figures that, hey, they have pretty similar damage output. Maybe we just need to get one with Poison to save the money. I actually like that quite a bit. So yeah, cool stuff here from Zeramis. I like his army so far. And over here, he does also have a Warlock Engineer for the Howling Warp Gale. So just in case there's like a Malekith type character or Marathi, you're trying to snipe your Lord, it's getting a little bit aggressive, you can pin them with the Howling Warp Gale. And he does also have the Warp Shard Armor, or the Warp Stone, which does AoE damage. So very, very solid army from the Skaven over here. But Dov's forces are definitely ready to party. So let's go ahead and look at Dov. He does have the Triple Reaper Bolt Thrower. So the Reaper Bolt Thrower is definitely going to be very good against this Mortis Engine here, good against the Doom Wheels, good against Rat Ogres. The Skaven are going to really need to just blitz this formation or get some good rear charges, because this is going to be very tough, especially if Dov layers properly. Like if he's able to split them up and maybe put one back here and make it very tough for the Skaven to break all of them down at once, I think he could be in a really good position. Top of that, a couple Blackheart Corsair Handbows, very good against Rat Ogres and Chaff. I mean, solid stuff from Dov here. I really like his build. He's got the Lizard Limo, the Cold One Chariots, Harpies up in the sky, another great tool against Skaven, just taking out their artillery pieces, their slingers, just it's very good. Dark Riders, Sisters of Slaughter here in the forest, and it looks like he's going to be going with Malekith on the Lizard Limo. So I really like Dov's army. I think it has all the tools that he needs to take on the Skaven force, but of course the Skaven Doom Wheels could be a lot of trouble for this infantry-heavy army, and I mean, yeah, both players have pretty good options against one another. I'm quite excited for this. Start anytime. Cool, and here we go. It's go time, boys. I'm excited for this. I'm excited. All right. So this is the first game of the day for anyone joining. This is the very, very first match. You have not missed anything, and here we go. So the Reaper Bolt Throwers are going to be shooting downtown. Dov obviously going to be targeting the Doom Wheels, and you can see Zeramis is going to be grabbing this Doom Wheel and probably running up into the forest here. I mean, there's some forested terrain for him to hide in, but you can also see that his Grace here with the Lord Plague is going to be taking that Reaper Bolt Thrower all day, which is tough. I mean, he needs this in the front line. He's not going to be able to beat this Dark Elf force without the support of the Grace here with the Furnace. So he's probably going to run back into the woods, I would imagine. Maybe try and overload this flank a little bit. He does have his own skirmishers running in here. Maybe they're going to throw at the Reaper Bolt Thrower crews. They might be able to throw over, but Dov, I don't think he's going to let that happen. He's going to be scooting forward with the Dread Spears and some of these other tools here. So the Night Runners are going to be going up into the high ground, but Dov does have some forces. He has Dark Riders as well as the Blackheart Corsairs up there. Maybe the Skaven aren't going to take these guys head on, but it looks like he's going to blitz in here. So, oh man, look at the brutal Skaven shock damage right there. So the Doom Wheel, Rat Ogres, all that pressure there, just absolutely mulched those Dread Spears and actually breaks them instantly. So that was an insane amount of shock damage. The Spears actually charged, so they weren't stable for that. However, there are Sisters of Slaughter. They're going to be following up here, going to do some good work against these Skaven forces, and some Blackheart Corsair Handbows are going to be shooting at those Rat Ogres. In the meantime, you're going to see a Warp Lightning. Oh my god, such beautiful Skaven play here. That Lightning did a ton of damage against the Dread Spears, and since some Rats are going to slip into the back line, now Dov is going to need to pull the Chariots to intercept those, because, man, if he gets into the cookie jar and shuts down these Reaper Bolt Throwers, that's going to be a pretty ugly experience. So the Skaven hordes are just ramshackling through this Dark Elf force here on the flanks. The Sisters of Slaughter are holding pretty well, but they're just fighting basic, Skaven slaves. The Rat Ogres and the Slingers and all these other troops are just piling through some very, very aggressive Skaven play. And you can see the bounce of power already massively in the favor of the Skaven. I mean, it is buckling this Dark Elf force. This is absolute insanity. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen a line collapse that quickly. Over here on the far side, you can see the Rat Ogres and the Skaven slaves are going to be attacking the Blackheart Corsair Handbows, and they're just getting spanked on them. They're not going to be able to get away from the Rat Ogres. There was also some poison fire coming in to poison them, making sure they can't run, putting their speed down to 31. And here comes a rear charge. So the Skaven are just all over the place, just the Vermintide. I mean, man, great play here. So these Skaven troops are able to get in on the Reaper Bolt Throwers. Dov is going to be pulling back with the Cold One Chariots to ride through these guys. But it's just everywhere you look, there's just hordes and hordes of Skaven chasing things down. Dark Riders are going to be fighting Skaven Slave Spears, which isn't the best situation. And it looks like a Scorch is going to be going down, and a very nice Scorch is going to be roasting those Dread Spears. So the bounce of power very heavily in the favor of the Skaven. I mean, Malekith is okay, but there's still Rat Ogres. I think there's still two somewhat healthy Doom Wheels. Yeah, this one's at about half health here, and yeah, there's Rat Ogres in the forest. Blackheart Corsair Handbows are being chased off by the Skaven as well. And man, what a Skaven blitz. I mean, that was just shocked through that front line. They had no chance of stabilizing there. That was pretty insane. But anyways, the Doom Wheel's going to be coming in for a rear charge here. The Warlock Engineer with the Mortis Engine effect doing some great work. And here go these guys. They're going to get terrified and they're definitely not up to this task. They're being drained. The Power of Darkness has also been cast on them by Malekith. The Sisters of Slaughter are one of the troops that's generating a little bit of value, up to 55 kills. They've done pretty well for themselves. And also Malekith over here getting a really nice Gaze of Malice from Dov plays, so quite good. But I don't think he has enough to come back. I mean, there's just not enough stopping power to kill 2 Doom Wheels. One's almost full health, and also the Plague Priest here is in good shape, or the Grace here. A couple groups of Rat Ogres, I think, have like almost their full model counts. In the Forest, Dov does have some Corsair Handbows. Some Harpies are... he's also able to get these guys, so maybe he could pull something out, but I really just don't think he has enough left. He's probably going to get slapped with army losses here in just a moment. The Cold One Chariots are going to rampage. And these guys are quite powerful, so I think when they fall, it's probably going to trigger army losses for the Dark Elves. So what a fast, aggressive Skaven style of play. That build was pretty crazy, for sure. I mean, I thought Dov's Reaper Bolt Throwers would be a little bit more effective there, but really just this, the pressure the Skaven put on. Just that shock in the front line was brutal. Yeah, that was brutal. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I mean, that was, a lot of people are like, you know, love to dumpster Skaven, but in the hands of, you know, a good player, they can be very, very aggressive. I mean, Dov's build was good. I thought you had a lot of good answers. I mean, Corsairs against the Rat Ogres, although I guess he didn't have like a true mass pinning unit against the Doom Wheels, right? Because the Doom Wheels were able to just kind of, I mean, he had Malekith, which is a chariot, but there wasn't really enough mass, I guess, to deal with the Doom Wheels. And Dark Riders are just going to get terror routed, so yeah, hard to say. Anyways, that's going to be game 1 for Zeramis there. I think a couple Cold One Knights could have been really good. Like, if Dov had like 1 or 2 Cold One Knights, they would have been able to shut down the Doom Wheels and also help against the Router. So I think that would be something that, you know, after seeing that battle, would be very, very good. So Zeramis is going to go up 1-0 here in this best of 3. So again, the winner of this will be going to the final. So there still is more games between Dov and Zeramis here. Let me go ahead and turn on the screen blocker. It's going to come to our aid. And it looks like we're going to have Empire versus Chaos. So many elf thing body parts from Clan Mulder. Yes, yes. GG. Man, that was a game. That was a Skaven game, all right. My goodness. Brutal stuff. So many freaking gerbils. I mean, yeah, Skaven can be really scary in the hands of a good player, for sure. They can be really scary. And you know what I liked about that Skaven army? Is he didn't bring any real infantry. It was just all Skaven slaves. Like, he really maximized the effectiveness of the really good Skaven units, like the Rat Ogres and the Doom Wheels and all that stuff. Like, he didn't even mess around with like the, you know, the Haggards, like Skaven infantry, which I think there's something to that. But yes, that was the first match of the day. Dov is going to be going with the Empire against Zeramis and Chaos. So remember to switch. Yes, and the maps are linked up above. Let me make sure they get these. Okay, hopefully Dov remembers what the map is. I can get it for him in a moment. I sound tired? Well, I'm not tired, actually. Oh, I mean, I woke up recently. I woke up about an hour before the stream, so still kind of getting my bearings. But hey, guys, it's going to be a long day of competition. I'm hyped. The energy is high. And I'm also going to be playing Italian Spartacus and 40K this afternoon. So after the stream, I'm going to be heading over to our local game store, and I'm going to be playing the long-awaited Italian Spartacus Showdown. Now, we're not going to record this because, you know, we just want to get down the system and have some casual games first, but we're going to be playing today. So my Death Guard are going to be taking on his Blood Angels, which is going to be super fun. I'm very excited for that. Maybe we'll get some pictures, like, between rounds or something, so you guys can see the status of the table and all that. I don't know. We'll think of something. We'll think of something. Yes, yes. Now, it's only the first game. Today's going to be pretty intense. The next best of 3 is going to be Gojira facing off against Lotus Moon in a best of 3. And again, the winner of these 2 best of 3s will be going on to the final. So we're on Alpine Ridge, which is one of my favorite maps. It has some really fun Vanguard opportunities. It's a classic, going all the way back to Warhammer 1. So, Scuffed God, you haven't missed that much. You know, just the first game, which was a really good game. If you want to see like master level Skaven play, go back and watch that. Yeah. Hey Gojira, I'm not the one sitting on the throne. It is not I. I'm gonna be there. If he doesn't show up, that's on him. But I'm gonna be there waiting. Yeah, my Death Guard army today is looking pretty good. Oh, hell yeah. World Eaters are awesome. Now, let me warn you, Alex. The World Eaters are a faction that, like, I think they're going to get fleshed out. I think Khorne, like, is going to get the Death Guard treatment eventually, where they get their own, like, codex. And, like, it's not like Demons of Khorne. It's going to be, like, the Warriors, the World Eaters, right? Where it's going to be, like, they're going to get, like, a really fleshed out thing. Because they're very cool, right? But you can get shot off the table. If you don't go on turn 1, you can have a lot of trouble with World Eaters. I mean, you can hide all your Berserkers and Rhinos and things like that. That kind of helps. But even still, they're a tough faction to play, for sure. They are a tough faction indeed. Okay. All right, guys, so now we're here with the second game of this best of 3 showdown. Currently, we got Zeramis, hopefully I'm saying his name right, I believe I am, is going to be up 1-0. Dov is going to be coming in hot with the Empire. He's going to be bringing Karl Franz with Galmaraz and Reichel and Runefang. He has a Warrior Priest and then also a Jade Wizard. So anytime you're going to be using Karl, you pretty much, I think, in my opinion, it's a requirement to use a Jade Wizard. I mean, you can use Native Amatoc and go for like big alpha strikes, but I think it's a little bit safer to use a Jade Wizard. On top of that, the Mighty Dov plays has 3 Pistoliers, 4. So this is a signature of Dov here. He does have the Pistoliers right here. He does have a couple groups of Empire Knights just to cycle charge infantry. Now, if there are going to be like heavy, I mean, against Dragon Ogres, that's really strong. And I mean, it looks like Summoners of Rage are here. There's, I believe, some Marauders and other decent targets. I mean, yeah, these guys are going to just want to be shooting the Dragon Ogres, the Summoners of Rage the entire time, as well as the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. The armor piercing's a little bit low, but I mean, volume of fire is volume of fire. On top of that, Dov does have Spearmen, the Jade Wizard, and yeah, just kind of like state troops to fight the rest of the army. So he's really going to need to do some heavy lifting with these Pistoliers, and Karl Franz is going to need to get some really good alpha strikes on Kolek, because, I don't know, let's see, does he have some Demogryph Knights? Okay, in the back he does have the Royal Altdorf Gryph Knights with a Warrior Priest, which makes him much stronger. So fighting against like Kolek and Dragon Ogres, these guys are going to be pretty good. So it's really going to be a game of cat and mouse, like who can get the better position, the better jumps. Yeah, I don't know. I would say that the Chaos Army looks... I mean, this infantry corps is going to get run over pretty bad, for sure. I mean, I don't think there's any great swords. It's just going to be Spearmen and Swordsmen. But the Pistoliers, I mean, if the Pistoliers can pick apart the Marauder Horsemen plus these Summoners of Rage, like before the fighting starts, that could be a really, really good match for him. On top of that, we got Chaos Marauders in the front line, a couple groups of Chaos Warriors with great weapons, which is a very good. If you're playing Chaos against Empire, you always want to bring a couple, just in case they go with heavy greatsword play. Final Transmutation, Kolek, and Summoners of Rage, 2 groups of Marauder Horsemen just for skirmishing, and a Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. So a very, very scary army here from Chaos. I mean, I personally think it's a bit of a hard matchup for the Empire, but we'll see how this goes here. So Chaos is going to be advancing over the hill. Dov is going to be sweeping around with his Pistoliers. He does have them in one fairly large group. It looks like he's going to be sweeping upwards, but yeah, he definitely needs to head off those Dragon Ogres and start shooting the big targets. Thing about Chaos Sorcerers as well is you can't really snipe them terribly easily with Pistoliers, because Chaos Sorcerers, unlike regular casters, are very beastly. They actually have 90 armor and like really, really good defensive stats. Anyways, Pistoliers are going to be shooting at Marauders, which is not what you want. They're shielded, you know, they're not good targets. I mean, if you are shooting them in the back, you're going to get some kills. You can see Dov is going to be getting some poking here. But I don't know how this Empire Infantry Corps is going to be standing up against like the might of this Chaos Army, right? There's just like Mirror Guard and like Armored Chaos Warriors everywhere. Marauder Horsemen are going to be coming in. They have 80 range compared to the 80 of Pistoliers, so pretty much dead even in that respect. Karl Franz maybe going to be... Yeah, this is actually a really good idea for Karl Franz. He could swoop over here and attack these Marauders on the far side. That's a really good idea when you're playing Empire to use like their big flying lords to... You know, Chaos is going to chase all this, right? So now there's freebies over here. You could attack the Mirror Guard, and they're not going to do anything to Karl Franz in response. So I would definitely do that. It looks like Kolek's going to be going out there as well. And shooting Kolek is cost effective. I mean, he does have 90 armor, but you still need to wear him down eventually. And it looks like Dov is going to be going downtown to attack some of these guys on the other side of the map. So these Mirror Guard are going to be in a little bit of trouble. So good play from Dov. Oh man, he did see the Summoners of Rage coming, so I think he pulled back at the last moment. I still think he could have gotten some value there, but nonetheless, he's going to be falling back with his Empire Force, trying to reposition a little bit. And yeah, he's basically just shooting up Chaos Marauders. I mean, he's getting some decent damage. It's not like a complete waste, and he has plenty of ammunition here. So it looks like Kolek is going to be screening him with the Marauders and also the Marauder Horsemen a little bit. So he's just going to be pursuing the forces of the Empire. Now, Dov does have this contingent waiting in the forest, Empire Knights, and they could definitely do a ton of work. Empire Knights against Chaos Marauders is a very cost-effective engagement for sure. Kolek's going to be taking some buttered bread up here on the high ground. Dov looks like he's taking some javelins as well from the Marauder Horsemen, but he does have healing, whereas the Warriors of Chaos don't. So you can afford to make a couple of mistakes in that respect. So Chaos is going to be pushing in, and it looks like the Empire's trying to lure them into the forest a little bit, which isn't a bad idea. And the Pistoliers are still just shooting at Marauders, though. I mean, they need to get in here and get those more cost-effective targets. You can see Dov is going to be rapidly pushing them in towards these Summoners of Rage, which are great. They only have 70 armor, so that's going to be the... Like, if he can get rid of the Summoners of Rage, it's really going to open up a ton of opportunities for the Demogryph Knights and some of those other troops. So the Mirror Guard are very fast, actually. These guys have 38 speed compared to the 30 of the Spearmen, so they're quite a bit faster, so he could definitely pick those guys apart right now. Dov is being very, very conservative here, but Chaos is just going to push in. He's going to have to take this fight in a moment here. And the Pistoliers kind of just sitting on the periphery. I mean, they're probably going to start shooting Kolek here. I'm not sure if he's just going to... Yeah, it seems like maybe he's a little bit out of range. He needs to scoot forward a little bit, but he's probably doing some micro in the front here. So the Empire Knights get a really good charge on those Chaos Marauders. So good exchange there. On the far side, Empire Knights are going to be doing the same thing, taking out these Chaos Marauders. So very good play so far, but Karl Franz has taken a lot of damage. I don't know if it was necessary for him to take that much damage, but Dov needs to get these Pistoliers shooting at the Summoners. Like, he needs to move in right now, or else he's going to be in, you know, a bit of trouble, in my opinion. So in the back, you can see that this Jade Wizard is going to be getting beaten on by the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, but this could be a really good engagement for Dov. If these Demogryph Knights and Karl Franz are able to get in there and spank that Dragon Ogre, that could be really good, but it looks like he might be able to squeak away. A little bit of Overwatch fire coming in from those guys as well, but here comes the Pistoliers. So the Pistoliers just shoot this Dragon Ogre. Man, you can melt him so quick, and it looks like Dov is going to see that, and he's going to turn all his sights on this Dragon Ogre here and just start to burn him down, which is going to be great. So the Marauder Horsemen are scooting in as well. Pistoliers did get a buff to their combat stats, but it looks like Dov is charging in with the Reichel and Runefeg. That's actually not bad. So they get the Hammer of Sigmar, so these are suddenly pretty juiced up Pistoliers, right? Karl Franz is going to be getting a heal. No, it looks like he's just going to be popping his buffs. Those Knights on the far side do break the Chaos Marauders, but they also get broken off by Kolek, as well as those Chaos Warriors. And over here, we just have State Troops fighting, and it looks like a big, fat, angry... Oh, no! That massive final transmutation, catching pretty much the entire Empire force. It hits all the Pistoliers. It hits the Demogryph Knights. Does it? No, it looks like they got away, so that's good. And Dov actually is able to break some of those Marauder Horsemen, which is good. So that's going to free up his Pistolier play a little bit. But man, that final transmutation hitting all those Pistoliers was not good. And you can see that immediately tilts the bounce of power. And the problem is if Dov's not able to do massive like alpha style damage here, his State Troops are slowly just going to start losing to the Warriors of Chaos, right? It's not going to be a good engagement for them. In the meantime, the Royal Altdorf Gryphites are going to be chasing down Summoners of Rage, and they should trade pretty effectively there. Looks like some of the Chaos Marauders are going to intercept them, and there is going to be some sort of magic going down here, so maybe it's going to be... What is that? What is that? That must be something... Oh, it's the Chain Lightning from the Summoners of Rage. Got it. So Demogryph Knights are going to be pulling back a little bit. The Warriors of Chaos looking like they're in a pretty commanding position. Empire does have some Pistoliers, but that final transmutation was absolute brutality, so it was able to shut those guys down pretty quickly here. And it looks like the Summoners of Rage are going to be pulling back in, and the Demogryph Knights going for the big fight with Kolek as well as the Shaggoth, but yeah, Karl's going to have to commit to this. I mean, this is the one way Dov could get back in the game here, and a very good Earthblood going down, which is going to hit all of these guys, so very, very solid stuff. And yeah, he needs to win this fight, and Kolek is actually getting burnt down really, really quick. So good play from Dov there with the Gall Miraz coming in. Demogryph Knights pending, but ooh, the Summoners of Rage are going to be piling in as well, which I think is going to seal doom for the Empire. Because Karl went in for the Alpha Strike, he did a really good job, but nonetheless, I just don't think it's going to be enough. State Troops are pulling back as well, which is a very good play. Karl Franz is able to fall back to his man a little bit, but these Demogryph Knights are... they're taking a bit of a spanking. They do have stand your ground, giving them melee defense and leadership, which is one of the reasons they're still fighting here, but nonetheless, the Chaos Warriors are just winning the fights elsewhere, right? Pistoliers have come back in. They're picking apart these Chaos Horsemen here. Kolek's healthy. There's another full health Shaggoth. I mean, the Royal Altdorf Gryphites are holding pretty firm, but you can also see the Chaos Sorcerer here is going to be chasing down Davy Crockett here in the forest, and that's going to be tough, right? The Chaos Sorcerer is a very good combatant compared to standard casters. Almost twice the combat stats, much better defensive stats, and it looks like the Empire, despite some pretty good efforts, is going to be going down here, and the Warriors of Chaos are going to be taking this game. Personally, I do like Outriders quite a bit in this matchup, just because they have better armor piercing against Shaggoths, but the Pistoliers are pretty good against Marauder Horsemen and Summoners of Rage and things like that. So Dov is going to be going in for the final Alpha Strike, and that is going to be it. So Zeramis with the 2-1 is going to be coming in. Yeah, that was a really brutal final transmutation. Now, I think that Chaos probably still would have won the game even without that, but nonetheless, it was a really good cast. And yeah, it was just tough. I feel like the Pistoliers weren't able to get in the proper positions to... Dov had some really good Alpha Strikes with Karl Franz. His Franz play was very good, but I feel like the Pistoliers weren't able to get on the good targets. They spent a lot of the game shooting at Marauders and other targets, just trying to get around, but the Chaos player was able to just kind of weave his Dragon Ogres and other troops in a bit of a circle away from the Pistoliers, kind of like in boxing, right? You're going to move away from the power, and it was the same thing. He was able to move his units away from the Pistoliers, and that was a big investment. These guys needed to pay their dues, and I don't think they were able to, so that's going to be it. That's going to be 2-1 for Zeramis here, and we're going to be moving on to the second match of the day. So well played to Dov plays, as well as Zeramis. I personally think it's a very hard matchup for the Empire, so big kudos to Dov for taking that on, because that's a tough one. Empire, I think Chaos has a pretty substantial advantage there, just in my anecdotal experience. So yeah, let's go ahead and say well played to the players here, and GG. See you in finals. Well played. And that's going to be it. So Zeramis is going to be moving on to the finals. And he's going to be facing the winner of the next showdown we got here. So very, very well played to him. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at the tournament brackets. And we're going to move Zeramis on to the finals here as I do set up the next game. Oh, yeah. We don't need to take an intermission. Let's just move straight into it, boys. It's going to be good. So let me make sure I can find the lobby. Hopefully everyone's in there and there's no drama right now. So I'm looking for it. Might need to take a bit of an intermission as I set this up here. All right. It's Cheramis? Is it Cheramis? Is that how you say it? Yeah, let me know if I'm saying the name wrong. I would actually love to know how to say that properly, if you don't mind. All right, gonna double check this. Is it called All Elves Must Die? Oh my god, I have a feeling it is. Oh, it is. So I typically tell the players to make a name like, you know, like, oh, this or that, you know, like Turin ESL, right? But then Gojira makes it All Elves Must Die as he's playing against Lotus Moon. All right, so we're back. So let me go ahead and get the scorecards updated here. Oh my god, Gojira is ridiculous. We get Wookiee blocking. And looks like we're going to have Greenskins versus Dark Elves. We'll see if Gojira can handle. I mean, Lotus Moon's elf play is pretty insane for sure. So, so let's go with this going. I believe it's underscore. All hail the mighty, the rising from the deep. Gadget sales, incredible sales. Let's see what Gojira's name is now. Slow Jira shaming YouTube. Oh, that's from the other day when we were playing. All right. Here we go, guys. It's Cheramis? Okay. Got it. Oh, he's Polish? Okay. Yeah, I'll ask. Yeah, Anna would know. And she's my wife, by the way. Yes. It is time. So, Gojira's going to be playing his Greenskins. I wonder how he's going to play this. I mean, he has to know that Lotus Moon, I mean, if anybody's watched Lotus, he's a very solid player. And he tends to play very kite-centric builds, right? Like a lot of Elvish play. I mean, that's how Elves play in general. And, I mean, you really need to be persistent. I think Gojira's going to have to go super wide and just super heavy pursuit, right? Like tons of Forest Goblin Spider Riders, just nuisances all across the map. I mean... Or Gojira could go something like super off meta, right? And just bring like Arachnoid Queens and just be like, what? You know, I have those big these big beasts here, so. All hail the mighty. Oh, Lotus is Polish also? Is he? Cheramis. Okay, so Cheramis. I'll get that right from now on. My apologies. Yeah, I should have known that because I'm somewhat familiar with a little bit of Polish, you know, like, you know, some of the language. It's Cheramis. Oh, yes. Okay. Cheramis. I got it. He just messaged me. He's like, yeah, that's right. I'm like, okay, we got this. We got this now. This is a pretty good map for the Elves, too. We have a combination of, like, open field maps and shrouded maps in this tournament. Like, the first map here is... you know, has plenty of spaces for the Elves to hide in the forest. Granted, the Greenskins I don't think care too much. They're just going to march in there with their infantry and chase them, right? But I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of Black Art Corsairs with handbows and probably Dark Riders and you know, kind of Slaanesha's Harvesters and that kind of play, just to kind of slowly pick your opponent apart. I think that's what we're going to see here. So let me make sure I didn't miss... I know I missed a couple donations, I think. Ungrim Ironfist, thank you for the $2. Just wanted to say hi and bye. Well, farewell, my friend. I'm sure you already left, but thank you so much for your donation. And... Colin G, happy holidays to everyone. I wish you all the best, and thanks, Turin, to all the competitors for the hours of free entertainment. Well, thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, no, this is my passion. I love doing this stuff. This is like a childhood fantasy coming true. And look, it's Italian Spartacus. We're playing 40k today, aren't we, Ryan? Yes? Hopefully you got your list ready, man. With all the new chapter approved points and everything. If you don't, I can help you. If you just bring your army, I could actually help you get that going. So we're going to be on River Amazon, which is, you know, I think it's a decent map. It has a couple areas for like Vanguard deployment, some cool high ground. You can get some like choke fights up here. There's a lot of like cool deployment tactics on this map. So it's one of the ones I've been using quite a bit in tournaments recently, and I like it. I think it's pretty good. I mean, Black Orcs are good, okay, in a lot of different matchups, and they have some applications against Dark Elves. But really high-level Dark Elf players typically are going to pick apart elite infantry with like Dark Riders with repeater crossbows and that style of play. I mean, it's a little bit tough for sure. Yeah. Wookiee is 6 feet. The gauntlet has been thrown 40k tonight. It happens. It has. It's going to be really fun. Yeah, Italian Spartacus will be playing his Blood Angels. And my army is Death Guard, but it also has an allied detachment of Iron Warriors. So, yeah. Yeah, we can fix it. We can set up your list at the store as long as you have your. What I would do, Ryan, is just go look up the new chapter of Food Points, or at least like print out the sheet, or like get it on your phone or something, and we can. From there, I can look. Yes. All right, so the screen blocker is gone. Let us go ahead and talk about the army picks here. So let me get this healer chair a little bit closer here. All right, so for the forces of the Dark Elves, he is going to be having Malekith on the dragon. So yeah, this is a pretty brutal style of play for sure. So what you do is you get Malekith, and it looks like he does have a Deathcaster as well for the Spirit Leech. Now killing Greenskin Lords is super powerful. Like if you can kill a Greenskin Lord, it's really going to buckle the rest of the faction. So I think this is going to be pretty strong. So what he's going to do is he's going to fly over. He's going to use his breath attacks. He's going to be using Spirit Leech. He's going to be using Gaze of Malice to pick apart the Greenskin army as much as he possibly can before taking the main fight. He does also have Blackheart Corsairs with handbows. In the back, he has the Slaanesha's Harvesters, a couple of groups of Cold One Knights. A very mobile army, and I feel like Lotus Moon is going to be able to handle the micro pretty well. On top of that, he's got Dark Riders with the Peter Crossbows. I mean, he's going to be shutting down the Greenskin Cab using his Dark Riders and Harvesters and Doomfire Warlocks. And this is going to be a tough one for the Greenskins. I mean, if Gojira's micro is really on point, he does have some tools to kind of last here, and he can also hide Wurzog in the forest to kind of shroud him from some of the missile play. And he does have Effigy of the Git. Now, if for example, Malekith comes in here and he's able to kind of effigy him down. He only has one Goblin Archer though here, so it's not going to be enough to like Alpha Strike Malekith. But maybe he has like Gaze of Malice here as well. So he does have the gate, so he's going to be able to shoot missiles. Broken Tusk Mob as well, and a couple groups of Forest Goblin Spider Riders, but there's no way that they're going to be able to outmatch the Dark Riders plus these other supporting troops. I mean, I think Forest Goblin Spider Riders 1-1 will beat Dark Riders simply because of the poison, and you know I think they have more HP as well, yeah, a little bit more. So, but even still, it's a very grindy fight, and I think the Dark Elves have more mobile assets to really kind of put those guys down. Start anytime. Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one, guys. So over here on the far side, there's going to be some Forest Goblin Spider Riders vanguarded, but Lotus Moon has any... Oh, look at that. They're fighting already. So the battle's underway here. These Dark Riders are going to be collapsing. Lotus Moon reacting immediately. So he's going to get the charge advantage on Gojira. He does also have Slaanesha's Harvesters here. So these Forest Goblin Spider Riders are going to get destroyed. So these guys are getting put in a trash can pretty bad. And yeah, I mean, against Lotus, you should definitely probably be careful about like mass vanguarding like that. I feel like he's going to have... You know, this is kind of the signs of like a pretty high level player, right? Like really good battlefield control. He has something everywhere. Gojira does have some really good responses though. In the middle, Gojira is able to catch his Dark Riders here with the Forest Goblin Spider Riders. He gets the charge. So it looks like he was able to get the jump on Lotus here and get some value. Over here, the Forest Goblin Spider Riders are going to be chasing down Dark Riders, which is also a very good engagement. And the Greenskin Infantry are going to be marching forward. So this is going to be really tough, guys. Right here, you can see the Dark Riders with the shields are going to be chasing down these guys. But the poison, yeah, Gojira should just keep pinning him here. This is good. Because eventually the infantry are going to catch up, right? These guys are negative leadership. The Dark Riders are having a bad time. But, you know, over here you can also see that Lotus Moon is able to get the jump on the Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archer. So a little bit of give and take. I would say a fairly even opening exchange here, but this is going to be tough. Forest Goblin Spider Riders, unfortunately, do get chased off by Malekith and the caster here. Now, if there was like some supporting elements here and these guys hadn't broke, like maybe an Effigy and a Goblin Big Boss, like I don't know what the Effigy is going to do. I mean, it'll do a little bit of damage against Malekith, but Malekith is probably going to be responding with like some sort of a breath attack or a Spirit Leech. So the gaze goes down, and wow, that actually pops Malekith in the face. So Gojira responding with a pretty good missile attack. He does have the Rusty Arrows nearby as well. And look at this, the Forest Goblin Spider Riders have actually rallied, and now they're pinning in the Sorcerers with death. So suddenly there's a couple of decent engagements here for Gojira. The rest of the Greenskin force is just going to be hiding in the trees. Obviously, they're not going to be able to catch these guys too much. The Broken Tusk Mob is here as well, so I mean, this isn't a bad little trade. I mean, he's able to get some good damage. Granted, Malekith does have the means of healing with Soul Stealer, so that's still going to be tough as well. Lotus Moon coming in here to pick off the skirmishers. So he's slowly kind of clamping his teeth down on the Greenskin force, who is going to be hiding here in the forest, which I suppose isn't a bad idea. I mean, Gojira definitely is going to have to attack a little bit. He could just be shooting with the Night Goblin Shaman, and yeah, he's just going to be hiding in the tree. So over here, Forest Goblin Spider Riders do get attacked by the Doomfire Warlocks, but they get the Fist of Gork on these guys, 48 and 51 for their respective combat stats. They might be able to beat these Doomfire Warlocks with a little bit of support. Soulblight going down, which is going to make them very squishy, putting them down to 15 armor and lowering their weapon damage, of course. But nonetheless, it looks like he's actually able to buckle off a couple groups of Dark Riders. And the Dark Elves are just shooting into the forest, but at the very least, the Greenskins do have the kind of the cloud cover of the trees here. You can see a very nice Gaze of Malice coming down. So Lotus Moon picking off all of the elements that could potentially threaten Malekith. Big Daddy Malekith is up in the skies, and as much as hiding in the trees here isn't a bad idea, you can see his force is very blobbed up. So Malekith, like a Soul Stealer, would be very powerful here. And the Dark Riders and everyone else are just going to kind of pincer in. Lotus does also have some Slaanesha's Harvesters on the far side of the battlefield. So these guys, hopefully doesn't forget about them. It looks like he does see them coming back. And Gojira also has some Forest Goblin Spider Riders hiding right here. Now, I don't know if this is like an intentional trap, but bounce power is slightly in the favor of Lotus Moon, but still, Gojira is not out of this game yet. Power of Darkness is going to be going down to Dark Riders. And the Rusty Arrows are actually returning fire and getting some decent trading value here. He's also going to be pushing out the 8-peak loonies to kind of screen those guys, which is a good choice. And the repeater crossbows are going to be going in here, so the Greenskins just hiding in the trees. Definitely not happy about this, but Wurzog is beat up, but so is Malekith. I mean, both these players are giving it to each other a little bit, and you can see the missile attack from the little Goblin Shaman is able to make slight contact with the Sorceress. Nothing to write home about. So the Dark Elves are actually breaking in some respects. I mean, some of the Dark Elf repeater crossbows here and some of these other troops are very beat up. And you can see here on the flanks that these Dark Riders, as well as the Corsair handbows, are just kind of circling a little bit. So it's going to be a tough one. I mean, Gojira's putting up a good fight. Spirit Leech going in here, and that's going to start working down Wurzog. Hopefully for his sake, he can get at least one more effigy and a couple more missile attacks. But a lot of the ammunition of the Dark Elves is being wasted shooting into the trees. I mean, it is obstructing quite a bit. And the Greenskins do still have a ton of like powerful infantry that eventually Malekith will have to fight. So at the very least, if he's able to kind of goon out Malekith somehow with missile attacks and effigy, I mean, that would be pretty useful, right? Because from there, the Black Orcs might be able to beat all these other units once they do run out of ammunition. So over here, the 8-peak loonies, and this is a very good situation for Gojira. These guys are unbreakable and they have silver shields. Having them take all the ammunition is really good. I mean, this is like not a bad situation. Like just let these guys be a sponge. Another missile attack coming out from Gojira. Unfortunately, the Goblin is obstructed by the trees as well. That's going to be pretty tough. And Big Daddy Malekith is just kind of circling and preying on the scraps of the army, right? But over here, some of the Rustiers. Oh no, like it's funny. These Goblins should know that if they run out of the tree line, they're just going to get feasted on by the Dark Elves. The Supreme Sorceress is probably going to chase, or just the Sorceress is probably going to chase those guys down, I would imagine. Though he really needs to get rid of those guys, like 100%. Another Spirit Leech going down as well on Wurzog. So Wurzog's having a little bit of trouble here. But yeah, the Bacon is going to be poked, and the Destroyer has also been procced on him, which is going to add to his ability cooldowns. But the Black Orcs are just kind of waiting in the trees. And remember, guys, once he's out of ammo, he's going to have to attack with everything. So, but yeah, just kind of circling with Malekith and company right now. Obviously, Gojira doesn't have too many ways of catching him, but I do like the way that, you know, the ammo is being drained from the Dark Elf Force. Gaze Mouth going down on 8-peak loonies, but it looks like Gojira was able to dodge that, so that didn't do a whole lot. Malekith is going to be circling overhead, and Winds of Magic might be getting a little bit low. Effigy of the Git going down on Malekith as well, and we're probably going to see a gaze from the Goblin Shaman. So nice breath attack there from Lotus Moon, able to hit those Black Orcs. And a good missile attack. I mean, Malekith's getting a little bit low. Gojira is behind the bounce of power. His Goblins have come back. Another missile attack. So look at that. Malekith is kind of getting blasted, guys. I mean, both Lords are getting very, very low. So the Dark Elves are going to be chasing down these Goblins here, and it looks like the Doomfire Warlocks are going to be fighting the 8-peak loonies, which really isn't a bad situation for the loonies. They're going to be able to poison these guys and potentially do some work. And the Savage Orcs are going to be rushing up, and these guys are now poisoned. I mean, they still have 70 speed, but if the Savage Orcs are able to pin them in, 8-peak loonies just mad value, just wasting tons of ammunition, doing a really good job. The Lotus Moon is going to be using a Spirit Leech and probably another Breath Attack. The Baconator is definitely not long for this world, and on the far side, the Dark Riders and other troops are able to clean up any orcs that, you know, try and run from the forest. So it's like they're just trapped in a cage here, which is pretty brutal. So anyways, the Savage Orcs here are going to be getting a downhill charge from these Dark Riders, and it looks like Malekith is going to be charging in as well to attack these Savage Orcs and some of these other troops. So yeah, just coming in. I mean, the Savage Orcs, I mean, yeah, they might break off, but at least they're getting to fight something. I mean, I'm surprised these Dark Riders are lasting so long, but Gojira is getting a little bit of damage in here. It looks like some of the Black Orcs are going to be advancing out of the forest. The last march of the Orcs against this brutality here for sure. And the Rustiers definitely just got destroyed up there, which was really, really nasty. So Lotus Moon, very methodical in picking apart the Greenskin force here. You can see on the low ground there are some Savage Orc Biggins. I mean, if Gojira can keep himself from getting slapped with army losses and maybe keep this Night Goblin Shaman alive, I mean, there is, yeah, but Lotus Moon is being very, very efficient with his ammo as well. He's like using it very patiently, making sure he can wear down the Greenskin force and not like waste it all into the tree line. I mean, he is shooting into the trees, but it seems that he doesn't have it on automatic fire. He's like choosing his targets, right? So the Broken Test Mob don't have shields. Those guys are going to be getting picked apart. Lotus Moon coming in with the Fat Dragon, as well as the Spirit Leech from the Sorceress. And also you can see the Slaanesha's Harvesters and company here are going to be riding down the 8-peak loonies, but true heroes of the Goblin people. And yeah, they got 200 kills and 200 health left and 7 kills, which isn't bad. But yeah, they're going to be taken out here. But it looks like Gojira is probably going to get slapped with army losses here. Definitely, if you're going up against, I mean, maybe he hadn't seen Lotus play before, but you got to expect like massive amounts of troops like this, like, and probably going super wide with Forest Goblin Spider Riders and your own skirmishers and just having a massive wide Greenskin force, I think would be a little bit more efficient here. But nonetheless, I mean, he might be able to survive. If this was open field, it might have been even tougher, right? Because he would have no tree cover to keep him going. The 8-peak loonies are still fighting here. Some Savage Orcs have rallied in the distance here. Lotus Moon doesn't have the most ammunition, actually. And it looks like he's going to be committing to a fight. So he's going to be charging here. But remember, these are Savage Orc Biggins. So if he doesn't break these guys quick, sneaky stabbing going down, that could be pretty mean. That could start cutting up these troops pretty good. And the Baconators are charging in. So finally, Gojira is able to get some retaliation here. Savage Orc Biggins are in their element. Everything here is large, including Malekith. And if there isn't a terror route, you can see the Dark Elves actually take a bit of a pounding here. The Dark Riders and the Harvesters are being pushed back. Gork'll fix it going down to the Greenskins with pretty good retaliation here We're able to get a ton of damage on the Dark Elves, force them back. Malekith took a bit of damage as well, and they are being dragged down. So that wasn't a bad situation. However, I just think there's too many Dark Elves left on the map. These Black Orcs are being picked apart in open field, and that's why going Black Orcs against Dark Elves, I think is... I mean, you can. I think having a couple, I guess, in case they go with Harganeth is not a bad idea, but typically you're going to see a lot of this style of play with high-level Dark Elves here. So yeah, Gojira putting up a good fight here. You know, despite the circumstances, you know, his army really wasn't made to deal with like this fast of an army here. And the Savage Orcs here are going to get collapsed, and Lotus Moon coming in with Alpha Strike. So very well played. I mean, that was a very technical game. So so yeah. Yeah, I think going like super wide with Forest Goblin Spider Riders, bringing like four or five of them, your own skirmishers, just a ton of like low tier goblins with silver shields just to kind of chase things down. You need double Goblin Big Boss and Wurzog, I think, or even Azag with like Spirit Leech Spam on Malekith could be really good, but I think a narrow army like that isn't going to work out too well. So that's going to be 1-0 for Lotus Moon, so very well played to him. That's going to be the first game in this best of 3. Let's go ahead and get Wookiee back up, and we will keep rolling. It's time. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. GG. So yeah, we are doing a pick and ban system, so the players can either do that or they can do gentlemen's agreements, for sure, but they can't play the same factions twice. So for example, you know, in the finals, like, you couldn't play, like, you know, the Dark Elves twice or the other guys twice. Yeah, I mean, it was just the army pick wasn't the best, but Gojira's going to be going with Skaven. Oh man, the Skaven are coming. Yeah. Oh yeah. All right, change map. We're gonna have Skaven versus Wood Elves. I think this favors the Wood Elves a little bit, but Skaven can go super wide with their artillery. So I have a feeling Gojira's gonna spam like 5 artillery pieces and just try and shoot him up. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna see, guys. Yeah, I know not everyone likes that playstyle, but you know, it is part of the game for sure. And he follows the tournament rules and all the rules of engagement. He doesn't like just draw kite, you know. It's I mean, honestly, it's very technical play. But you know, it can be beat for sure. I mean, you guys are going to see some serious cockfights in the finals, I'm sure, either way. Well, we're going to see. Gojira's going to be going Skaven. And his army's looking pretty interesting so far. It's looking very interesting. Oh my god. When do you think the next... Yeah, I'm not sure. What's going... Dr. Evil, we could get you in on Season 2, probably. Aristodemus says, I know exactly what army he's going to bring, and I won't tell you, but you're going to love it. All right. We will see. Yeah, I don't know what Gojira's going to do. Now, with Skaven, what I would probably do against Wood Elves, in my build against Wood Elves, in the past has been like 3 Storm Vermin with just shields in the front, like 3 Warp Lightning Cannons, like 2 Warp Lightning Cannons, like a couple Plagueclaw Catapults, just a bunch of cheap slingers and spears everywhere. And it actually works pretty well. Like, you can pick apart the Wood Elf force, but you need to have like forward Vanguard scouting to see the shrouded units, like the Way Watchers and other units and Deepwood Scouts. But I mean, it can be beat for sure, but I don't know. We'll see if Gojira's up to the task. So we need to make sure they switch the map here, and we're in the Alpine Ridge. Start when ready. Gojira is true to his name, Slow Jira. He definitely picks his armies very slow. So an Alpha Strike is a term to basically say like, oh, and by the way, I missed a donation, I think. So Wicked D, thank you so much for the donation of the 222. Let's go, champ. And Ash Carter, really enjoying the tourney turn. This is the first time watching live because I'm from the land down under. From the land down under. Thank you, Ash. I really appreciate it, man. Glad you're enjoying the tournament. There's going to be, so after this, we're going to have a couple weeks, and then we're going to have the grand finals. So there will be a couple tournament streams in between. Pavel, thank you for the donation on PayPal as well. I see that, of 10 PLN. So, Jankuya Bardza, my friend. Yeah, thank you. I just saw that one on PayPal, so thank you so much. But yeah, what I was going to say is we're probably going to have some 2v2 tournaments the next couple weeks. And also, I'd like to talk to Sotek about potentially doing some sort of a tabletop tournament here, because he had one on his channel. And maybe we'll just have more on his channel, but I would like to have one on here as well with him maybe, you know, working with me on it or something. So if he's willing, it's up to him, because I don't want to, like, it's his idea. I don't want to, you know, encroach, but... Yeah, the map has changed. We're going to be playing on Alpine Ridge, which it's the same because I wanted the players to play the same maps today. In the beginning I didn't do that in the league, but I kind of like towards the end was like kind of like has a bounce factor in it. So yeah, yep, and that's that. Making sure all the stream settings are good, and we are rolling in the deep. I thought about streaming on Twitch, but I'm just like, I love the YouTube community. Like, man, the people here are just like, I've never had like negative experiences. So to answer a couple questions, an Alpha Strike means that you're basically committing a massive amount of your resources to going in for the coup de grace, or the death blow, right? So you're going for the kill, you're committing a lot of resources to finish off your opponent, right? That's basically what an Alpha Strike is. You're committing a lot of resources to try and end a situation or finish off a single target or a mission or an objective, right? Yeah, it's kind of like, if you're playing Magic the Gathering and you basically have like a Fireball or a Banefire type effect in your hand, and you're like saving it up and going like for the giant Alpha Strike in the end, or swinging in with your entire army, taking that risk, trying to finish the game. Granted, it doesn't necessarily always have to be like you're going all in, but it can be. And the other question was, let's see. I think I could stream on both. Maybe I should do that. Maybe for the next season I'll do that. There was another question I forgot up above. Are distraction Carnifexes viable in here? Yes. Yeah. I mean, a ton of factions have it, right? Like, when I play Vampire Coast, like, for example, I always used to, like, a giant Colossus in the front, spam summoning zombies with Noctilus to distract my opponent while I'm picking them apart with deck droppers and things like that, and hounds, right? So, I mean, yeah, distraction Carnifex is totally a viable kind of principle. And for anyone who doesn't know, distraction Carnifex was a bit of an archaic term from Warhammer Tabletop. A Carnifex is a Tyranid unit. And basically, people just bring them as distractions because they're big and meaty and you need to focus them down. And while they're being focused, other things are doing the work. Yeah. All right, guys. So we're here with the Skaven facing off against the Wood Elves. Now, I'm quite eager to see how Gojira picks this army. So, firstly, he does have Lord Skrolk, a very good choice. Libru Bubonicus is very good against the Wood Elves. I mean, you just use it on their lords, their heroes, whatever. I mean, Skrolk is very, very solid. However, he can be sniped. So if Gojira isn't on top of his micro with him, I mean, he could just get absolutely punished. On top of that, he does have a front line, which is going to be a combination of Stormvermin with the silver, or not silver shields, but with the shields. A couple Clan Rats with shields as well, which is a good choice. Back line of Skaven Slaves. And a Warplock Engineer as well for flying units. So, for example, if this Glade Lord on the Dragon comes a little bit too close, he can Howling Warp Gale him, which is great. On top of that, Gojira does have 4 groups of the Gutter Runners, as well as the Poison variants, which is going to be good, and 2 Doom Wheels. So the Doom Wheels, not a bad choice. I mean, Way Watchers can pick them apart, and it looks like he has Swift Shiver Shards here. He's got, and Dragons. Dragons are a pretty good counter against the Doom Wheel. So I'm a little bit nervous for Gojira's army, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, a good Howling Warp Gale or some decent Focus Fire. I mean, these 4 Slingers, if they're able to get like really good Focus Fire on one of these Flying Casters or something, could be pretty damn strong, right? So we're going to see how this goes for sure. Good luck. Yes, it is time. Magnus, thank you so much for the fat 1,000. I believe is that Swedish? I think I don't know what that translates to. So let's see. Yeah, wow. That's $110, man. Thank you so much. Magnus with the fat 110. Magnus, I actually saw someone playing. Yeah. I was watching, what's that guy's name? Magnus something. He's like a professional chess player, and he's just like insane. I was watching a bunch of videos. But anyways, yeah, thank you so much, man. I know I believe that's Swedish. Oh, Gojira, this is so risky. It's kind of like he's doing a Vanguard up here in the hill. Oh my god. Well, the problem being is if Gojira bum rushes this hill and is able to pick off this Waystalker right away, Gojira could potentially be in really good shape, but he needs to react quick because Lotus Moon is obviously going to react very quickly. So look at that. Snare Net's going down. Gojira sees it. He's going to start running. Hopefully he doesn't have skirmish mode on, but I think he does because they're running the wrong direction. And the Swift Shiver Shards are going to start shooting these guys. They do have pretty good physical resist. They're not going to be complete pushovers, but this is a great catch. If Gojira can actually get this Waystalker and burn him down, like in the very beginning, that could be a huge grab for him. He's also getting really good skirmish here on the Glade Lord. So far so good. Get that Doom Wheel up there. Run this guy over. You need to get this pick. I mean, against Lotus, you're going to need to grab everything you can. So Lotus Moon's coming in with the Wild Riders and the Glade Riders with the Hackman Tips. And the Skirmishers are taking a bit of a beating for the Horned Rat here, but yeah, he needs to capitalize on this. Doom Wheels are moving up the hill. Just all these Skirmishers need to collapse. I mean, this is a decent initial opening, being able to catch a high-value unit like this. So he's going to be moving up the hill. The Skirmishers are chasing as well. Doom Wheel's coming down. It looks like there was an Arrow of Kurnus over here on the Warlock Engineer, but Howling Warp Gale now wouldn't be bad either. Like Howling Warp Gale one of these guys and get some slinger pressure on them. But in the meantime, Lotus Moon is going to be circling around the back with the Glade Riders and the Wild Riders. So there's going to be a lot of pressure coming in, but Gojira cannot let this slip up. He needs to push forward. He needs to capitalize on this weakness here. The 2 Doom Wheels need to go kill that Waystalker, and the Skirmishers need to follow up. That's also going to rotate them a little bit away from the power. Now, Lotus is going to be charging Wild Riders into Skaven Slaves, but so far it's like not looking like a bad game for the Rat Boys. I mean, they are holding on. Doom Wheels are going to be rushing across. Skrulk needs to come in. I mean, he needed to be more aggressive there. He could have totally killed that Waystalker and just had a freebie. So a bit of a mistake there from Gojira. Aside from that, the Deepwood Scouts are going to be unleashing hell on these rats. It looks like the Doom Wheel's going to be going in as well, but the problem is there's Sisters of Thorn over there. The Doom Wheels had a freebie right here. They need to get there. Come on. Like, this whole army needs to rotate, but it looks like there's some Wood Elf pressure from all sides, so I guess he's a little bit beset. But good counter skirmishing. He's able to fend those guys off, so that's not a bad situation. Now, the Doom Wheels have kind of ramshackled into the Archers, and Gojira's getting some really good value. I mean, he is picking apart these Deepwood Scouts, but it's only a matter of time until Lotus Moon swoops in with the Dragon and probably picks those guys apart. But the Skaven Slingers and all these guys, Howling Warpgale could definitely be used here as well to pin some of these guys in place and potentially get some value. And I mean, yeah, it's not looking bad. The Doom Wheel is able to break off some of these Deepwood Scouts. On the far side, the Wildwood Riders are just kind of cycling about, but they haven't gotten a ton of value yet. I mean, they picked off a couple slave units, but balance of power is still pretty even. But Skrulk Daddy is being picked apart by that Waystalker. Now, if Gojira would get this Doom Wheel and go after the Waystalker here, he could totally be in good shape. But unfortunately, he's letting Skrulk be picked apart by it, and that does not need to happen. I mean, I think he's a little bit stressed by all the different pressure across the map, but he had a lot of good opportunities here that I think were a little bit lost. So Storm Vermin with the Swords and Shields are going to be piling in, and he gets some really good... I mean, there's a lot of things that are going quite well for Gojira, but aside from that, I mean, he cannot let this Waystalker just sit and shoot when he has troops standing, like, right here. I wish I could just, like, call him in Discord, be like, hey, attack that Waystalker, it's right there. But anyways, the Spears are picking apart the Wild Riders. His Doom Wheel play is very good. I mean, he's doing a good job going after these Wild Riders, dragging them down. His Gutter Runners are getting some okay poke as well. Warlock Engineer is nearby, and it looks like there's going to be an Earthblood going down. But Skrulk is just getting picked apart, and you know there's a lot of elements that could have gone after this Waystalker, which is a little bit painful to see here. But nonetheless, he's putting up a great fight, you know, in other areas, right? So the Howling Warpgale going down, the Doom Wheel's coming in, and some of the Slingers maybe going to get some poke here, not sure. Some rallying Clan Rats over here, and the Doom Wheel did rally on the edge of the map, so that's going to be a nice little gimme right there. And the Glade Riders are shooting in from the Wood Elves as well. But it looks like there's going to be a Warp Lightning coming down from the sky here. So the Warp Lightning is going to manifest above those guys. Lotus Moon with a very good dodge, though. On the other side, it's not a bad situation. The Skaven are just kind of being kited about by the Wild Riders, and they're going to be attacking some Spears who aren't braced. That's tough, but I mean, the Spears might be able to hold 38 leadership, and they take massive shock damage and go down to 0, -3. Are they going to stabilize at 1? And they do stabilize. That's going to be good. Those Rats are now going to be able to poke those guys down. And believe it or not, the bounce power, despite, you know, some misplays with Skrulk and not capitalizing there, is still somewhat even. But here it's going to be rotating out pretty quick as the Doom Wheel does get pounded by the Dragon and some of these other troops here. I mean, the Wood Elves have a lot of tattered forces as well. There were some initial engagements that I think could have gone pretty well, but I think just some missed opportunities really cost him the game. If he had just pushed forward with the double Doom Wheel, killed that Waystalker, Skrulk would be healthy, he'd have Libra Bubonicus. I mean, so yeah, I mean, there could have been a lot of options. The other leadership here for the Skaven is going to be buckled off. Storm Vermin are just chasing down these Deepwood Scouts, which is a good trade. Gutter Runners with Poison are doing some slings as well. And yeah, I mean, he's doing what he can with what he has. In the back, you can see these Glade Riders with Hagbane Tips are able to chase these guys down. And I think these poor Rat Boys are going to be in for a little bit of trouble as the Elvish Hordes are going to be going here. So massive charge coming in. And you can see the Skaven not in the best shape here. I'm pretty sure they're going to get slapped with army losses here pretty soon. So really, I mean, Lotus Moon played quite well. I think Gojira could have done a lot of things. He could have capitalized there. He had some other opportunities with Howling Warpgales, but I think he was just a little bit stressed by all the angles of pressure that were coming in from Lotus Moon there. But yeah, I mean, that's going to be pretty much all she wrote for the Skaven boys. So guys, it's, in the finals, it's going to be Lotus Moon versus Cheramis, which is going to be good. But honestly, that Skaven build had some options. Like, had he kept it a little bit high and tighter, kept those Doom Wheels together with Skrulk and the Howling Warpgale, like, attack the Waystalker, kill it, go after another target, Howling Warpgale the Dragon so it can't stop the Doom Wheels, and just go around. I mean, he had options. He let his army get a little bit disconjointed, a little bit spread out, but I really do think the build at its core had some options. So yeah, that's going to be that for now. So 2-0 for Lotus Moon here, and we're going to take a quick intermission while we set up the finals, and it's going to be an intense one. Both of those first rounds look to have some like serious micros. So I'm really excited to see how these finals go. So let's go ahead and jump into the lobby. GG. And Lotus, stay here. Gojira saying GG, always a good sport. Likewise with Lotus here. And yeah, that's going to be that. So we'll have Lotus Moon stay in the lobby. And Cheramis, if you could join, we will get you set up in just a moment. So guys, we'll be back with an intermission. Thank you guys so much. And get ready for the grand finals. It's going to be quite an intense battle. All right, guys. My apologies, my game crashed, but thankfully we got it out of the way before the tournament started there. Let me go ahead and update the name card here, and we'll be good to go. Thank you guys so much for joining. We're here in the grand finals. It's going to be a best of 5, guys. We have a fierce battle on our hands, so let's go ahead and get the scoreboard. We just get the game open first and foremost. Yes. You guys just wait. This is going to be a fierce one. I have a feeling these are going to be some fierce battles. From what I saw in the first couple games, I'm like, okay, these are going to be some serious cockfights. This finals here. All right, so we're back in. Let me go ahead and get in the multiplayer and get in the lobby. All elves must die. Of course. All right. Sorry, game crashed. Back. All right, so I'm going to set up the scoreboard now. 1 second. Thankfully, it's easy if you keep the same lobby. You just have to get that set up, and we're good to go. All right. Chaos versus Dark Elves. This is going to be a fun one. Yeah. Let me make sure they worked out. Joey B, thank you for the donation. He says, love your casting term. What do you think makes Skaven one of the weaker factions? It's hard to say overall. I mean, they have pretty weak infantry. They're very dependable on, I don't know. Skaven are typically kind of predictable. They only have a few lines of play. And they obviously lack mobility pretty hard. So, you can really, troll the Skaven with, heavy mobile forces. And, yeah, it's tough. Cool. So they worked out the pick and ban system. Let's go ahead and get the Wookiee up as well. I almost forgot about that. My apologies. So yeah, we're going to have Chaos versus Dark Elves. I mean, Chaos are a top tier faction. They are a very, very good faction. So, I mean, it's a good matchup. I'm actually quite excited to see what he brings. Yeah, don't worry, guys. I did. I covered it. Yeah, I covered it. Mm-hmm. And he switched his army since you guys saw it, so no stress. Wookiee is here. He rises from the ashes. All hail the mighty, the rising from the deep. With tattered sails and incredible tales. Chaos, I think Chaos has a decent matchup versus Dark Elves. In my experience, I don't think I'm as good as either of these two players here, but I think it's a relatively even matchup. I mean, I think Chaos is a top tier faction, and I think so are Dark Elves, so... Dark Elves have good answers. Repeater crossbows are incredibly good against Chaos. They can pick apart the Shagus and the armor pretty efficiently, but Chaos has Warhounds, and they also have their own Marauder Horsemen who are pretty cheap and can do well in the counter-skirmishing environment. So there is a lot of give and take in this matchup, which I think is good. So, yeah. And Troll Country is also very a small, close quarters map. Oh, I don't know. I don't think we've seen any Tomb Kings today. We have not seen any Tomb Kings. That doggo still looks more threatening than the Dragon Ogres. Yeah. The thing about Dark Elves, though, is they can... I wonder if Lotus Moon would subvert our expectations and go with a heavy, grindy Dark Elf build with Harganeth and things like that, just to kind of catch players off guard. Because, I mean, if you're someone who plays like him, right? Like people are often going to expect like a bunch of, kiting and that style of play. But what if he just like switched it up, right? Complete 360 and just like ran you over with like 4 Arcanev Executioners. I don't know. There's so many like mind games in this game, which is pretty wild for sure. So here we are in the grand finals, game 1 between Cheramis and Lotus Moon. Yeah, it looks like Lotus Moon going with a pretty typical build, something we would expect from him. And the Warriors of Chaos are definitely ready to party though. I mean, they got plenty of mobility. Shielded infantry for the most part. He brought a couple great weapons just to kind of keep things honest because, again, if Lotus Moon did kind of switch things up, then he would be in a little bit of trouble. So it's good that he brought a couple armored infantry. Now, they're not going to be useful here, these Chaos Warriors, the Great Elves, but, I understand why he brought them. On top of that, he does have a couple... let me make sure I got this... Yes, I'm going to be casting all the games from Sotek's Tabletop Tournament that I played in. Yeah. So Chaos Warriors in the front line, Chaos Warriors with Great Weapons, but he does have shielded ones. He has Mirror Guard and Marauders. He also has 2 Dragon Ogre Shaggoths, including Kolek, which is going to be pretty good. I mean, if he can avoid the focus fire from the repeater crossbows and kind of pressure with his other tools, these Shaggoths are going to absolutely pound down some of these big lords up here, right? So the Sorceress. I was kind of expecting actually like a really heavy metal Chaos mobile build with like Chaos Knights and things like that. I feel like that would be pretty good here, but he does have Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, Kolek, 2 groups of Marauder Horsemen over here with Chaos Warhounds, and then another 2 on the far side with also Chaos Warhounds. So pretty heavy mobile force. I mean, Marauder Horsemen, as far as combat stats, they are better in melee. If they can catch the Dark Riders, they can kill them. So there is some, opportunity here for these guys, especially with Poison Hounds. So it's really going to be a game of, as I said earlier, cat and mouse with the style of play. And for Lotus Moon, pretty similar build to what we saw earlier. Mass Dark Riders with repeater crossbows, mass amounts of Dark Riders as well. And then also he does have Cold Moon Knights, and he does have a Sorceress. He has Marathi up in the skies, and yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I feel like Lotus Moon has enough to kind of protect his forces here with Cold Moon Knights, and the mobility of Marathi obviously is pretty good against like Shaggoths, anti-large. He has a lot of good debuffs. So it looks like Cheramis is going to be sending out his Mirror Guard and his other troops, and he's going to be moving forward with the Marauder Horsemen. Probably going to be able to get some poke here on these Dark Riders, I would imagine. But yeah, I mean, we saw his micro in the game 1. He was very, very on point here. So first Spirit Leech is going to be going down on the Shadowcaster, and the Marauders and other troops are kind of just squaring about. Yeah, I mean, like I said, he has plenty of counter skirmishing. So these Mirror Guard, he might be able to crowd these guys. If he could like blitz across the map here and head off these Dark Riders. I mean, these Poison Hounds have a freebie right here. If Cheramis sees these guys, there's no protection for these guys. If these guys were to collapse like right now, they could get some freebies on these Dark Riders, but it's a bit of a shame. It looks like he's trying to stay a little higher and tighter, which I understand. Sure. Dark Riders take some good counter skirmishing. Cheramis, in the meantime, is able to get some really good value on those Cold Moon Knights, and the Poison Hounds are counter chasing, and Kolek's coming in as well, so this could be a great pick here for the Warriors of Chaos. And I think he's going to maybe get these guys. It looks like they're trying to squeak away 51 speed. Poison Hounds are not going to catch them, and that bread is probably going to get buttered. They're steady, but Kolek needs to probably get in there and start pounding those guys as well. So now they're poisoned down to 51 speed. Kolek's chasing, Chaos Warriors are chasing. And it looks like Cheramis is going to be countering with the Marauder Horsemen as well. But a counter charge coming in from the Dark Riders. Dark Riders with the shields should be able to beat Marauder Horsemen. On the far side, pretty similar stuff is happening. A little bit of bow skirmishing coming in. But these Dark Riders accidentally charge into some Chaos Warriors. And it looks like Lotus Moon is very quick to pull back. But so far, I mean, good pursuit. It looks like Cheramis is able to kind of pick apart these Cold Moon Knights. Oh no, but don't let them live. I mean, they're rampaging. That's a freebie right there. Over here as well, Dark Riders are taken out by Marauder Horsemen, and yeah, they're actually winning fights on many fronts. Looks like there's going to be another Melkos going down to kind of break those guys off the battlefield, and the Warriors of Chaos are getting a lot of good picks. Over here, the Great Weapon Infantry are fighting against Dark Riders, and the Mirror Guard are rushing in, so this massive force of Dark Riders with repeater crossbows is mainly shooting at shielded infantry. Chariots from Lotus Moon are going to be charging into these Chaos Warriors with great weapons, but the Shaggoth is nearby, so hopefully Cheramis is able to grab those guys and get the free picks there. But yeah, look at this. The Sorceress is being chased. She's actually shaken. These Dark Riders are chased off the battlefield. Cheramis is able to get a really nice jump here on the Cold Moon Knights. And the Poison Hound's just doing a ton of work pinning those guys in place. So beautiful play here. Looks like the Wand of Karaidon is going to be coming down, and it does get a bit of a miss on that Chaos Sorcerer. And the Chariots are actually rampaged and broken and terrified by the Shaggoth. So far, this is looking like a really good game for the Warriors of Chaos. These Chaos Infantry are holding pretty firm against the Cold Moon Knights, and the Mirror Guard are going to be chasing down those guys. So currently, Chaos a little bit ahead in the balance of power. Kolek is just beating these guys down, just chasing and doing beautiful work. And the Cold Moon Knights are taken out by the Warriors of Chaos. So man, crazy stuff here. In the meantime, Chaos Sorcerer dropping another Melkos, and man, his Melkos play is on point right now. He is just, every time one of these guys gets compromised, he chases them with Hounds who have 107 speed from the Smoke and Mirrors buff of Lord of Shadows, and he catches these Dark Riders. And it looks like the Warriors of Chaos are slowly picking apart these Dark Elves. Marathi is being taken down by the Marauder Horsemen, and just like the aggression of Chaos here, it just seems to be a little bit tough for the Dark Elves to handle. Now, Dark Elves are not out of this game. They still have Spirit Leeches, they have plenty of these repeater crossbows, but the Shaggoths are both full health, which is going to be incredibly tough to deal with. Poison Hounds are chasing downtown, but the Slaanesha's Harvesters are here as well, so it's a little bit scary, but the Shaggoth is probably going to peel over and go after these guys, but it looks like they're collapsing. But yeah, if the Poison Hounds come and help the Shaggoth against the Harvesters, they should be okay, but this could be something that gets Lotus Moon back in the game if he's able to break this Chaos Sorcerer off the battlefield. Now remember, Chaos Sorcerers have 90 armor, they are very tanky. Melkos coming in, which is going to slow those guys. Poison Hounds and Infantry coming in as well, so Big Daddy Shaggoth coming in with the big steel chair, and man, he clubs down those Slaanesha's Harvesters, forces those guys back, and the Hounds looks like they might be chasing those bows. In the meantime, here we have some counter skirmishing. You can see the Chaos is actually the one doing a lot of skirmishing right now, falling back with the Marauder Horsemen, but some of these Cold One Knights might catch them, but Kolek is coming back with a full chub. He's very, very healthy here, and there's also going to be some Chaos Warriors and other troops. So very, very intense fight here between these two players. Definitely very evenly matched here. So the Mirror Guard are going to be chasing, continuing to screen out the Dark Rider play. The Lizard Chariots are offline. These Dark Riders over here are in a little bit of trouble, and the Chaos is just bringing the onslaught. Kolek coming in. I mean, he has anti-large, rampaging knights. This is going to be tough. They're going to be fighting Chaos Infantry, which is not what Cold One Knights with the anti-large want to be doing, right? Marauder Horsemen are in great shape. For the most part, they have, I mean, one of them's relatively beat up, and it looks like Marathi's going to be dropping a Soul Stealer, but look at that really good play. Charamis actually splits those guys up to make sure the Soul Stealer doesn't hit the big group, and Marathi's kind of running with her tail between her legs. Kolek and company are in good shape. The Sorceress is actually terror-rotting. Big Daddy Kolek coming in with the Steel Hammer, just pounding that Sorceress, doing beautiful work here. And you can see the Chaos Sorcerer with Shadows, and the Shaggoth are going to be piling in as well. So far, it's looking like Chaos is going to take this one. They're very, very ahead on the bounce of power, and the forces of the Dark Elves are trying their best to kite them, but it seems like he kind of expected the kite, and he had a lot of good answers for it. And I really love the double Shaggoth play. Like, normally it would be like, oh, Shaggoths are going to go down, but if you protect them, they give you such good answers against the kind of, try assassination type tactics of the Dark Elves here. The Lotus Moon's trying to rally his forces, doing the best he can. The bounce of power kind of creeping back a little bit for him. He does have some Dark Riders here and another group here that has a fair amount of ammunition. His Deathcaster's still online. Big Daddy Shaggoth over here is going to be trying to chase a little bit, but it might kind of devolve to the point where, yeah, the Marauder Horsemen, I guess, still have enough stopping power to do a little bit of work, but even still, yeah, I don't know. I don't think Dark Elves have enough answer here. Enough answers left. I mean, they do have a full health group of Cold One Knights who are chasing off some of the Chaos Warriors. So good play by Lotus Moon, making sure to finish off the scraps. And you can see over here, Charamis is doing the same thing. He's chasing down the Cold One Knights, making sure they're off the battlefield, and both players are very, very diligent in their kills here. Murderous Prowess has been procced, or Murderous Mastery or Prowess, depending on the unit, has been procced for the Dark Elves, so they're going to get a little bit of a spike in power. Definitely do not want to be taking this free damage on Kolek. Kolek should probably pull back here. Good play by Lotus Moon, getting those attacks, but Chaos, the jaws of Chaos are clamping in on the Dark Elves. Are getting like cornered here. Take a look at the map. So you can see this is like the edge of the map here. You can see the terrain here and the terrain here, and it looks like the Dark Elves are literally being corralled by Chaos. Chaos has like a blockade over here, and the Shaggoth is coming in. This is probably going to be the end of the road, maybe, but it seems like Marathi might be able to bust them free by kind of blocking these guys up. But there's another full health group right here. The Shaggoth is coming in, and what's probably going to happen is a mass terror rout. These Dark Riders are coming in, and it looks like a pendulum style effect. Oh, a massive pendulum coming in from Chaos, which might potentially break those guys off the battlefield. Melkos coming in as well. And you can see the Dark Riders getting broken off the battlefield. These ones are 100% dead as well. Wand of Caridon is going to be going down on the Shadowcaster, which is going to be good, but a lot of those mobile cav are getting taken out. But Lotus Moon coming in with a good countercharge. Slaanesha's Harvesters coming in to kill these Marauder Horsemen, who are a little bit idle there, unfortunately, so they might get broken off. And it looks like Kolek is going to be getting attacked here, so suddenly Dark Elves are kind of clawing their way back into the game. You can see the bounce of power is still in Chaos's favor, but I don't know. It's going to be really hard to kill Double Shaggoth. I mean, he still does have some ammunition, but Chaos has a lot of screens, right? So he still does have a lot of these Mirror Guard and these like decent infantry. The Double Shaggoth is going to be really, really tough to kill. So I don't know. I still think Chaos is going to win this, but I think it's certainly not at this point. I thought it was over, but at this point it seems like the Dark Elves have scrapped their way back in. He thinks about going in for a charge on the Chaos Sorcerer, tries to just break it with kind of the intimidation, but yeah, it looks like a nice Spirit Leech is probably going to break off that Chaos Sorcerer, and he's going to be running off the battlefield. So Kolek and company have their work cut out for him, but honestly, if the Warriors of Chaos can just waste the ammunition of the Dark Elves, looks like he's coming in for a charge here. Is he going to be charging on those Cold One Knights? It's a bit of a bold strategy for sure, because Kolek can turn around, and if he can rampage those Cold One Knights, yeah, maybe Marathi's even coming in. So this is a little bit dangerous. Marathi might actually get beaten down here by Kolek. A really nice attack there. Lotus Moon gets a beautiful strike, but ooh, Marathi takes just the steel club to the face. Mirror Guard are coming back in, and ooh, that was a dangerous play from Lotus Moon. That might actually cost him the game, because Marathi getting pinned in by the Mirror Guard, who are not the smallest of lads, and man, she is just getting destroyed by the Ancient Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, and Marathi getting put in a trash can, and down she goes. So the Dark Elf Lord has fallen to the Ancient Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. I see that, he was trying to pin Kolek in place and get some good value with the Dark Riders, but from there, I think without Marathi, I don't think there's any way. I don't think there's any way to get back in the game here, because there's still a full health Shaggoth. I don't know what here can kill that guy. I mean, Slanesh's Harvesters are still healthy. There's 42 models here. The Repeater Crossbows are shooting in against Marauders, which is good, but Big Daddy Kolex, he's kind of staying out of range of all the Repeaters. These Cold One Knights might be charging in here. Chaos is going to be advancing, and man, this is an intense battle, guys. This is really intense. Slanesh's Harvesters are going to be coming around and charging in on the low ground, but obviously Big Daddy Kolex is going to be waiting, and yeah, he turns around, and this is good. Kolex is going to easily take these guys down to half health, give or take. And it looks like the Lord of the Storm is going to be popped as well from Kolek, I think. Yeah, because Marathi's dead, so it must be Lord of the Storm. And yeah, these Slanesh's Harvesters are just getting destroyed. And I think, it's the beginning of the end as Shaggoth is able to chase those guys down. Kolek is just, that is, still 3,000 HP. And Lotus Moon is going to withdraw. And the first game is going to go to Cheramis. Wow. What a game. What a game. I told you this finals here was going to be a fierce battle. So Cheramis is able to take game 1 against Lotus Moon. Very well played to both players. Lotus did a great job clawing his way back into that game. I mean, he was at a huge deficit. Cheramis got a really good initial jump, was able to kill a lot of stuff, but he remained calm in the pocket despite the fact that, the Dark Elves started to get back in the game. Cheramis was able to, able to stabilize there. So crazy stuff. Crazy game. Well played to both players. Lotus, I mean, it was a good game to both players. Yeah. Oops, misclick with Marathi, yeah. Yeah, so there we go. Cheramis able to take the victory from the Dark Elves. So he can't play Dark Elves again. He's probably going to go to his Wood Elves, I would imagine. But even still, after Wood Elves, I know I've seen him play High Elves quite a bit. I know he's good at High Elves as well. But yeah, that was a crazy game. Yeah. The pride of Poland. So, couple donations. Christopher Bruns, Death Guard for Papa Nurgle. For heavy support, I actually don't have my Plague Burst Crawlers yet, Christopher Bruns, for my Death Guard army. The current list I'm running is going to be, hopefully Italian Spartacus is listening so he can prepare. It's going to be an Iron Warriors allied detachment with 40 cultists, a Chaos Lord who's going to be running the Cold and Bitter Warlord trait to make the cultists unbreakable. On top of that, I have Typhus, 2 groups, 20 Poxwalkers, 1 group of Plague Marines with Blight Launchers, 3 Fetid Bloat Drones with a Demon Prince and an Outrider detachment. And then on top of that, we have a couple of Foul Blight Spawn, and I forget what the rest of the units are. Typhus, Demon Prince, yeah, that's about it. So it's a pretty good army. Joey B, love your casting. What do you think makes Skaven? Oh yeah, so I didn't miss that. Okay. Got it. Thank you guys so much for your support here over the holidays. You guys are making my Christmas very special. And yeah, they're working it out. Yeah. Yeah, very good stuff. So Lotus Moon saying, but you played well and you deserved it. Thank you. You're a real pain in the ass with the Cav. Which match would you like? Yeah, so they're just working it out. They have the option between gentlemen's agreements, and if they can't agree, they just do a pick and ban. So it's nice to see that, people are able to work out the matchups that both players are happy on. So. All hail the Wookiee. I'm going to go get some more water, guys. I'll be right back. We're back. Oh man, Skaven versus High Elves. I'm excited for this. This is going to be really fun. And they're not on... so this map is going to be... Oh, he didn't know it was best of 5. He's like, oh, okay. Let me make sure we get the right map. I posted it up above, I think. I think I can just paste it in again. Pillar. So we're on Pillar of Bone. There's not a lot of forest to hide in there. It's going to be a relatively open field map. Yeah, you guys like the High Elves, Jordan? Yeah? it's probably going to be all Reavers and Archers for sure. But you know what? I mean, Cheramis doesn't seem to have a problem like playing against that style of play. I mean, he did a pretty damn good job with it last game. So, yeah. He has to respect to that. But it's kind of hard because Cheramis has to respect the standard high elf play as well, right? Like with infantry and spearmen and like, I don't know though. Oh my god, this build! Oh, this build is ridiculous from Cheramis. Oh my god, you guys are going to be so excited. The Battle of Warsaw is underway. We got 2 Polish contenders here, huh? Well, Anna will be happy to hear that, my lovely wife. Oh my, this build is going to be awesome. I'm so excited for you guys to see this Skaven build. I can't see the high elf build. Let me turn my phone off so I don't get trolled. So GSL, we're here in the finals. It's best of 5. Currently, Cheramis is up game 1 over Lotus Moon, but it was a very close game. Lithanar isn't a competitive lord, but he does have some matchups where he's okay. I think Skaven is one of them actually. But yeah. Oh my god, this is gonna be something fierce. I wish I could just show you guys right now so we could discuss it, but alas, I must be patient. No, it's not going to be 6 Hellpit Abominations. That would not work well against the Lotus' style of play. That would not work well. Those Hellpits would get picked apart. Oh, they would just get destroyed. Cheramis making some last-minute changes. It's crazy. I've like played against a couple players lately and seen, like Cheramis, for example, as well as the other day I played against Exploding Hamster in a tournament. And like, some of these, like, even though like most people consider Skaven to be terrible, but in the hands of certain players, Skaven are just like a terror in the night. Like a terror in the hands of certain players. But it's still, they're very hard to play, but yeah, I don't know. A Rat Ogre Doomstack against High Elves is pretty risky because of the amount of spears and efficient archers they have. And Lothran Seaguard, I mean, I don't know. Yes. All right, guys, so here we are in the grand finals, game 2. Currently, Cheramis is up 1-0 over Lotus Moon in a very close first game there between the Chaos and the Dark Elves. Chaos just barely able to eke that one out. And here we are. And now we have the High Elves facing off against the Skaven. A lot of people have been wanting some hot Skaven action, and you're going to be getting some now. So here's the Skaven army. Triple Warp Lightning Cannons. We have 3 Warp Lightning Cannons. We also do have Grace here with Plague, so he's going to be having Vermin's Hide and Plague Breath, which is going to be good. So those Warp Lightning Cannons are just going to be unleashing hell on this Dark Elf or High Elf army. He does also have a Grace here with the Lord Plague. An Engineer, of course, with Warp Lightning, very good against Archers, and Howling Warp Gale against flying units, which is incredibly good. A ton of Skaven Slave Spears, a ton of Skaven Slave Slingers, 1 group of Gutter Runners with Poison, and 3 groups of Rat Ogres, and a Doom Wheel. So this is a pretty good Skaven army. I mean, I feel like these Warp Lightning Cannons are going to be really good against his High Elf force, who's just all Silver Helms and Dragons and just flying and Archers. Like, this Skaven force seems definitely pretty well equipped. Okay, so for the forces of Lotus Moon, he does have, I think, 4 groups of Silver Helms in total. He does not have the shields. Not that it's going to matter too much. Slingers wouldn't do too much damage. I mean, yeah, whatever, right? Silver Helms, he does have some shields, actually, on the one in the middle, but it looks like these ones don't. He does have a Flamespire Phoenix, which causes terror, has that rebirth effect, and can also drop some hot fire on the cheap Skaven Chaff, if microed correctly. Mage with Life, and he does also have a Princess with the Walmart Dragon. So yeah, the Walmart Dragon's going to be taking some of that Warp Fire damage to the face. Pretty damn hard, right? On top of that, he does have a bunch of Shadow Warriors, I think, but he's like deploying them around the map. Where did he put those guys? Here they are. Shadow Warriors are good against Skaven. They can pick apart Rat Ogres. They're good against, Hell Pits. They're good at shooting artillery pieces. So I like that pick. But I think the Skaven Slaves, hopefully they'll be able to, for the sake of the Skaven, will be able to provide enough of a buffer. You can see the Rat Ogres are going to be guarding the artillery against... Rat Ogres are like a hard counter against Silver Helms. So, yeah, I like this. Clan Skyrie is out, yeah. I don't know. I think both players have a chance at this. I think the Skaven are equipped. I think the High Elves are equipped as well. I personally think the Skaven army has a bit of a better composition against the High Elves, but even still, it's going to be a close one for sure. Say good luck to the players here. I don't know if that's actually the Walmart Dragon. I think that's the middle tier. The Walmart Dragon is the cheapest one. Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, that triple artillery plus Howling Warp Gale to pin them in place is going to be nasty. So Shadow Warriors in the back, though. Lotus Moon with a bit of an ambush. However, Cheramis does have Skaven Slaves back here, as well as the Plague Furnace and the Rat Ogres are all going to rush back there. But immediately, Lotus Moon is able to pick off one of those Warp Lightning Cannons. Oh, if it stabilizes, maybe it's going to be okay. In the meantime, you can see the Princess is going to be running for cover over here, which is a good choice. Slingers are going to be moving forward. And Howling Warp Gale is maybe going to get dropped on that Princess, but oh man, that stabilizes, and the Shadow Warriors are going to get pinned in the back by Rat Ogres, and yeah, I think these Shadow Warriors are done for. An ambitious play for sure against like that type of you know, a bit of a defensive position. But the Doom Wheel's coming back here, just rats everywhere, Rat Ogres piling in. I mean, they're probably going to get routed off the map. I mean, he needs to make sure to collapse on these guys. But in the meantime, the High Elves are coming elsewhere. Silverhelm's charging down the hill. You can see some of these Skaven slaves are going to be fending these guys off. Warp Lightning Cannons have almost killed the Princess up in the sky, so that's a pretty good engagement. But the Silverhelms are getting in there and having a good old jolly time. Now, the Howling Warp Gale effect is going to be falling back. Rat Ogres are chasing off the Shadow Warriors here. These ones are getting pretty beat up as well, so they're probably going to get taken out. But a lot of the Skaven resources are committed to the backfield. But you can see this Princess is actually just getting blasted by these effects. Oh no, and the Howling Warp Gale is going to be going down as well, which is going to pin it in place, allow this Warp Lightning Cannon really to put it down. In the front line, the Phoenix is going to be attacking some of the spears. Silverhelm's charging in. I mean, Lotus Moon actually is compromising the front line very heavily, right? A lot of these resources of the Skaven are being committed to kill the Shadow Warriors in the back. He does kill that one group of Shadow Warriors. The other one is able to slip away, and it looks like this one is probably going to get forced off the map by the Rat Ogres as well. But, you know, now that's a distraction card effects in the back line in a way. So the Princess is completely broken off. Rat Ogres are going to be attacking Silverhelm. Slingers counter skirmishing. But Lotus Moon is able to overwhelm this formation heavily, right? So there is some give and take here. 2 Warp Lightning Cannons are basically offline, but 3 Shadow Warriors in the back. Now it looks like 2, but even still, they might be able to come back. I mean, these Shadow Warriors are actually pretty beastly in melee and can beat a lot of these type of units, right? So the Skaven slaves are in a little bit of trouble. Here comes the main fight. The Princess is back online as well, so with some good Earthblood play, maybe she could come back. So yeah, I mean, this is a wild game so far. And the lightning is going to be going down as well, dropped here on some of these troops. And it looks like the mage is going to be hunting down some of these Skaven slingers who, look at the slingers chasing these Shadow Warriors. The Shadow Warriors should just turn and fight. They could kill those slingers in a matter of seconds. Now, the High Elves might be able to scrap their way back into the game, but it looks like the Cheramis is able to get the Plague Furnace back. He is getting some really good damage on the Silverhelms, and the Doom Wheels are doing pretty good work. But yeah, this Warp Lightning Cannon's offline. This one's actually getting picked apart by the Shadow Warriors again. But these Rat Ogres are just such world beaters against Silverhelms. Silverhelms just don't have the damage output to really deal with things like Rat Ogres. Skaven Slave Spears are able to help fend those guys off. Warp Lightning Cannon is back online. It's probably going to start shooting at the Princess, who is kind of scurrying in the shadows here. But ooh, she's taking some fire. It's a little bit dangerous. But Lotus did a really good job kind of resuming his Shadow Warrior play in the back, right? Those guys were... yeah, they were having some problems, but yeah, that Vanguard play was very, very intense. Over here, some Silverhelms are just being clubbed down by Rat Ogres. It looks like they tried to charge back in, so they're going to get broken off pretty quick here. And the Skaven are stabilizing, it looks like. There still is a Flamespire Phoenix, so the bounce of power slightly in the favor of the Skaven, but certainly not out of the picture yet, because if this Lord is able to get healed up with some good Earthbloods and regrowths and things like that, that could easily get the High Elves back in the game. But the Skaven Slingers doing a good job here. Shadow Warriors are piling back in. There are some Skaven Slingers here who are going to start throwing some pebbles at these Shadow Warriors. Rat Ogres here are able to break those ones, and it looks like the Doom Wheel is able to catch these guys. So, yeah, I don't know. I think the Princess is a little bit too beat up. There's still a Doom Wheel. There's still a Warlock Engineer. There's still Rat Ogres. It looks like the Skaven are going to take this game, just like kind of taking an assessment of everything that's left. This Warp Lightning Cannon is shattered. This one is back online, it looks like. And this one, it looks like the crew is actually shaken, but yeah, they're actually coming back. So, ooh, that's going to be tough. So using the Skaven Slave Slingers to pursue the Shadow Warriors, something you wouldn't think you would see, right? But the Skaven Slave Slingers chasing these guys down, and the Warp Lightning Cannon's just going downtown at the Princess, and she's able to dodge it, so that's some good stuff there. And the Skaven are making in game 1, Skaven with Cheramis versus Dov, I mean, they were able to have a convincing victory. And here, I mean, he's making the Skaven look pretty damn solid for sure. The Gut Runners with Poison are still online. That's going to be a great tool against the Flamespire Phoenix. But the Flamespire Phoenix might be able to drop some bombs here. Let's see if Lotus Moon is going to do that. He's thinking about it, and he does drop something. No, he doesn't, but yeah, the Gut Runners with Poison are a very, very good tool against the Flamespire Phoenix here. In the meantime, the Doom Wheel is going to be coming back. We got some Clan Rats or Skaven Slaves with Spears. And yeah, looks like for the most part, the High Elves are re-rallying, and this is going to be good for them because they're going to bunch all these forces together and get some really good juicy Earthbloods, which you will see will maybe normalize the balance of power. But the problem being is that if the Skaven get their Warp Lightning Cannons back online, it's not going to matter. They can just start shooting and just go into Pound Town here. So this Warp Lightning Cannon is back online. It's wavering from the Phoenix flying overhead, but nonetheless, every time the Phoenix does a flyby, it's getting poked, and the Warp Lightning Cannon is back. It's going to be shooting at the Princess, and the High Elves are coming in for the last march, but this Grey Seer is full health. He probably still has Vermintide summons. The Doom Wheel's healthy. Rat Ogres here, like 3 full health group of Rat Ogres against these beat to hell Silverhelms. Like, I think that the Skaven Hordes are probably going to be taking this one, so here we go. The Grey Seer with Plague is going to be falling back some Shadow Warriors in the forest. Very low on ammunition, however. They could probably come in and beat these Clan Rats with Spears and melee, but still, I don't think that's going to be anything to get them back in the game. The Warp Lightning Cannon does break off. Obviously, they have pretty low leadership, and Lotus Moon is able to rally those Shadow Warriors to kind of pick them apart there. And what an intense game. Like, this finals is very, 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 very intense for sure. So the Gutter Runners with Poison, going to be scooting forward. Looks like maybe getting a little bit of poke action. Yeah, Shadow Warriors are definitely very good in the Skaven matchup. It's one of the ones they're quite good in. I mean, Skaven have trouble with those type of archer units, both against Wood Elves and Dark Elves, you know, and just in general. But these Shadow Warriors are going to be getting hunted by the Rat Ogres. Looks like the Skaven are like, screw the artillery pieces, let's go chase these guys down. And it looks like the Silverhelms and company are going to be engaging right now. So obviously the rules of the tournament stipulate that all players must engage. And technically, Lotus Moon is engaging with the Shadow Warriors right now, shooting and kiting. And it looks like he might be able to do a bit of a collapse here in the back of the army. But even still, ooh, it's going to be tough. I mean, Rat Ogres are healthy, guys. The Princess has a lot of ammo, though. So she could probably sit on that guy for a while. I would imagine there's still a Howling Warp Gale going on. The Lotus Moon thinking about coming in here with the Silverhelms and getting a bit of a surround, which is good, preparing for a quote-unquote alpha strike. Over here, 2 somewhat healthy Silverhelms, 30 models here, and it looks like there's 21 right here. The Shadow Warriors are running very, very low on ammunition, and the Princess is shooting as well. So it looks like he's going to start shooting at the Warlock Engineer, perhaps. The Grey Seer and company, they're probably going to be hiding in the trees, which is a good idea. Just let Lotus Moon use all of his ammo on slaves and, you know, other things like that, and then from there, Lotus Moon actually has to engage in melee once he's out of ammunition. So the Princess here is going to keep shooting. Shadow Warriors, in the meantime, are just getting hunted down by Chaff, and that's not a bad idea. Just chase down the Shadow Warriors and everything, and yeah, just get some freebies. The Princess looks like she might be going for a Breath Attack, so Breath Attack coming downtown. It's going to be going after the Dragon Ogres, and it's a good cast. Balance of Power actually normalizing a little bit as the High Elves have got some healing. And remember that the Flamespire Phoenix could potentially get a massive heal. So it looks like Lotus Moon is going to be not... Oh, what was that? Oh, I thought that was a Warp Lightning Cannon, but that was actually the Doom Wheel. I was like, where did that thing come from? So there still are 54 Shadow Warriors here. The Skaven are just going to be kind of pushing. And the Flamespire Phoenix is going to be landing a little bit risky. I mean, Clan Rats are somewhat healthy here. And there's also the... Oh, and the Rat Ogres are going to be coming in. They're taking Gutter under fire. Now, if Lotus Moon gets the Rebirth with the Flamespire Phoenix, and Howling Warp Gale going down as well, which is going to pin the Princess in place. And it looks like the Flamespire Phoenix might actually waver and break here. Rat Ogres are chasing. It's poison. Silverhelms are going to be charging in as well. And it looks like over here... Wow, the Mage actually getting caught up a little bit, but it looks like the Mage is probably going to escape. Just some spears chasing it, But yeah, there's going to be a big commitment. Both players are going for the fight here. The Silverhelms are piling in. Obviously, this is a very important situation. Shadow Warriors are shooting in, but they're almost out of ammo. Doom Wheel coming in and poking. And Balance of Power is pretty even. Now, if the Phoenix does get its Rebirth effect, ooh, that could be really tough for the Skaven, actually, getting a full health monster. But look at this. The Shadow Warriors actually get compromised. They get caught. They're in the snare nets of the Gutter Runners. And you can see here the Silverhelms are trying to charge in. Dragon in the back trying to get some picks. And it looks like there's going to be a summon of Clan Rats. But unfortunately, it was a little bit off-timed because those Silverhelms do slip away. But the Shadow Warriors are going to die. This is a full health group of Shadow Warriors for the most part. So, you know, getting this pick here is going to be very good for the Skaven. But the Warlock Engineers, Lotus Moon making sure to get some value for that trade. He's able to pick off the Warlock Engineer for the most part. I mean, he's terrified, but he's going to probably come back and, you know, have some fun. But these Shadow Warriors are wavering. They're going to break due to the pressure from the Gutter Runners and the Rat Ogres. And the Doom Wheel's actually shooting up in the sky and getting a little bit of poke there. So Skaven just kind of stabilizing, you know, just pulling back. Balance of Power still a little bit in the favor of the Skaven, but not as much as it was earlier. But getting this pick on these Shadow Warriors is going to be huge. These guys are routing off. That's, you know, was a bit of stopping power there. But those guys are going to get picked and drove off the battlefield. In the meantime, Shadow Warriors are shooting in, going after the Warlock Engineer. But the Skaven can simply use the Forest here and just play a little bit defensively. The Princess is also shooting in, going after the Warlock Engineer, which is a good choice. I mean, the reason you invest in a Princess is to have its missile play, right? And the Flamespire Phoenix is actually shaking, guys. It's at 2 leadership. Oh, man. And if the Skaven can break this Phoenix off the battlefield right now without it getting a chance to regenerate, that would be incredibly powerful. So the Flamespire Phoenix is broken. Oh, and it might not get to the 10% proc. I would just not shoot it anymore. If that Phoenix runs off the edge of the battlefield, I don't think it will. I think it's going to stabilize, but that would probably be game, like, instantly, if that Phoenix, like, broke off here. In the meantime, High Elves have a little bit of ammo over here. The Princess is still shooting, of course. Skaven are just going to kind of keep pursuing and methodically picking troops off. And it looks like the Phoenix is going to rally, so there still is a decent chance here. Yeah, Gutter Runners are almost out of ammunition, though, so the Skaven are running out of ranged tools. However, the Doom Wheel does have its Warp Lightning kind of laser thing, right? So it's going to be able to do some decent poke. Oh, that's some good water right there. So it looks like the Silverhelms are going to be doing a frontal charge, perhaps, maybe going in the front. The Doom Wheel is able to get a little bit of poke on the Princess. And yeah, the Silverhelms are committing to a charge, which is a bold strategy, Cotton. I wonder if he might do that, so maybe he can pick off something else, like a bit of a distraction. So he does pin in those Silverhelms. It gets pretty much a free kill. Oh, it was for the Breath Attack. So he sent in the Silverhelms to kind of blob everything up, getting a Breath Attack, which was pretty good. But the Silverhelms are still going to get beaten down. They're pinned in. He summoned some Clan Rats back here. This group of Silverhelms is 100% dead. Now, he does get some Skaven Slaves. Yeah, just Skaven Slaves buckled off, which isn't really going to matter too much. I think that was probably a better trade for the Skaven, slowly picking apart the Silverhelms. And it looks like the High Elves are going to be going for one last Earthblood. Obviously, they're probably saving up for that, and that's going to be pretty good. But nonetheless, the princess is actually at its healing cap, so there's not going to be any more healing for that there. So the filthy rats are still, you know, in okay shape. I mean, they have rat ogres back here. Their warlock engineer is back online, so he's probably going to come in with the howling warp gale here in a moment. Doomwheel's pushing in, and a nice little scorch effect going down those shadow warriors right there. So yeah, he's probably going to take the dragons and company over here to go try and pick off these rat ogres, which is a really good choice. Oh man, but that warlock engineer, yeah, that's going to be a little bit tough. The Phoenix kind of feigning a bit of an attack there, but yeah, these rat ogres should definitely fall back to protect that warlock engineer if they can. Shadow warriors are still shooting in, and it looks like there's some sling play coming down. Oh, there still actually is ammunition on these gutter runners. Looks like they have one volley left. 1,000 HP on the Flamespire Phoenix. Warlock engineer is picked off in the shadows by Lotus Moon, so he comes in with the High Elf Princess and picks that guy off. So Skaven getting picked apart a little bit, but they still have plenty of power here with the full health Doomwheel. And Lotus Moon is about to run out of ammo, so once he's out of ammo, he has to engage in melee. So he only has 2 shots here. Although the Princess still does have ample ammunition, so that means he has a little bit of time before he has to fully commit to this fight. But the Doomwheel, I mean, yeah, this is what's going to happen. The Skaven are just going to move in a blob and like chase down the Shadow Warriors, right? Also here, the Rat Ogres might be able to intercept some Silver Helms. They have 78 speed against the 60 of Rat Ogres. Oh, and he gets a little bit of an engagement here. A couple of these Silver Helms might actually get shaken and killed. And the Doomwheel is actually running a little bit low on ammunition as well. So the High Elf army is slowly clawing its way back. In the distance, there's some rallying Skaven slaves. Shadow Warriors shooting in, but ooh, those Rat Ogres are going to catch them 100%. And this is like a big part of the High Elf army. Like 54 of these, infantry models is going to be pretty important. But the dragon is like half health. There's a lot of terror here. Hopefully, for the sake of Cheramis, he has saved some of his summons. And a very good play here. He countercharges with the Rat Ogres, and he has an instant Clan Rat summon in the back. So those Clan Rats are going to collapse in the back of the Silver Helm. So that group of Silver Helms, 100% dead. Those guys are going to get put down. Shadow Warriors are getting put down. A lot of great engagements. Cheramis responding instantly to the play of these Silver Helms, encountering with Rat Ogre charges across the board. Looks like the Phoenix is going to be going in as well, but the Rat Ogres and the Doomwheel can probably kill that Phoenix. So these Silver Helms are dead. It looks like Lotus Moon is going to be going in for the final blow right here. The Grey Seer and company are able to do a really good job kind of killing off those cav units, but there are still some elite High Elf troops like the Mage and the Dragon. Over here, these Shadow Warriors are dead. The Phoenix still is able to get away. Doomwheel coming in. And I don't know, yeah, those Silver Helms are going down. This is just a very, very close competitive match here. Both players just very technical. Lotus Moon coming in with the counter charge against the Rat Ogres. That's going to be a very, very good play. So great kind of strike here from him. The Phoenix might actually be able to terrify those guys. Rat Ogres can be terrified, so that's something to take into account here. But the Rat Ogres do pile back in. Skaven getting a little bit split up, but those Shadow Warriors are 100% dead. These Silver Helms are dead, but both players just trading back and forth. Now, is the Grey Seer and the Doomwheel plus the remnants of the Rat Ogres going to be able to win this fight? Is really going to be the question. The Grey Seer on this thing obviously can get smashed by a dragon, so he really needs the Doomwheels and the Rat Ogres to potentially win this game. Lotus Moon coming in with the Dragon. The Dragon is going to be committing, and yeah, there's going to be some summon Clan Rats, so that's probably the last of the summons, I would imagine. The Flamespire Phoenix is steady. It's at about 879 HP. Thankfully, for the rats, the Flamespire Phoenix is almost at its healing cap. So this has literally been like a 15-minute game so far. It's been pretty deep. So the Rat Ogres actually get buckled off, but the Princess is also taking quite a bit of damage. The Doomwheel hits pretty hard in melee. The Rats have pulled ahead in the Bounce of Power, despite the fact that there is some terror routing going on. You can see here that the Rats are pulling ahead here. The Summon Clan Rats doing a very good job kind of mucking things down. And remember, the High Elves can get terror routed too. The Silver Helms are not immune to psychology. Doomwheels cause terror, and the Furnace here only causes fear, but still, it's pretty decent little situation. Phoenix is going to be attacking some of these Clan Rat spears on the flanks, which is a little bit, it's going to take some damage for sure. It's going to get poked. Silver Helms are down. Princess is very low. I think the Rats are going to take this one, but it's going to be just a nail biter of a game. So incredibly even match here between these two players. I'm really glad how it worked out. Clan Rats with spears. Somehow these Rats are still holding. They're able to pin up some of these Silver Helms and allow the Rat Ogres and the Furnace. Like, look at all these Silver Helm models that are being pinned by these valiant Rats of the Under Empire here, and they're able to kind of pin down these Silver Helms, drag down those High Elves. And now you can see for the first time the Bounce of Power is back in the favor of, not first time, second time, back in the favor of the Skaven, as they just literally rat claw their way back in this game here, which is pretty wild. So the Doomwheel and the Furnace are still very healthy. I mean, the High Elves might be able to re-rally for a bit of a last charge here. And if Lotus Moon gets a proc of that Rebirth, I mean, that might be something. That Phoenix is doing work for sure. Yeah, it's causing a lot of problems, but some of the Rat Ogres have re-rallied here. And once Lotus, you can see he's almost out of ammo. So he's, you should maximize the efficiency of your ammunition with the Princess. She only has 4 shots left. She's trying to pick off the Doomwheel, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. These Silver Helms get broken off, and it looks like in the distance, some of these Silver Helms are going to be chasing down the Gutter Runners. Just a super intense cockfight here. But the Gutter Runners are going to be chased down by the Silver Helms, and those guys are going to be offline. Some Rat Ogres do rally in the distance, but it looks like they shatter when the Phoenix kind of flies in their general direction. Now the Rats have got their Grey Seer and their Doomwheel. I don't think the High Elves can kill this. Like, the Doomwheels actually aren't bad against like monsters. I mean, they're not great, but it still hits pretty hard. Arcane Conduit going down, so I wonder what magic he has left. He's probably used all his... I've seen a lot of rat summons this game, so he probably has quite a few. And what are these abilities he actually has here? So, the Portents of Verminous Doom, which gives negative leadership to nearby troops. That's kind of cool. Yeah, you don't see that terribly often, so... So yeah, we're here, guys. Yeah, he has to fight if the ammo's out. So right now, you know, I'm going to let Lotus know in chat if he doesn't engage here in a moment that he has to. So the Phoenix is out, the Dragon is out of ammunition, unless he has something over here with ammo, but he does not. So yeah, he's going to have to fight here in a moment. So I'll let him know. So Lotus is out of ammo, must fight. Yeah, and he sees that. So Lotus Moon knows he's out of ammo. He's going to be charging in with the Princess here. And I mean, yeah, he has to commit with everything. So I mean, he could have gathered his forces before charging in with the Dragon. But yeah, I think the Doom Wheel's going to come in with the rear charge, probably do a little bit of damage. The Furnace coming in as well. And the rest of the High forces are charging. I mean, he's coming in with the Silver Helms. He has to fight. He actually gets a pretty big terror route. So man, what just a cockfight this is. The Princess falling back a little bit. Ooh, a big Scorch effect going down right there, which actually does potentially waver those guys. And here comes the final battle. So he's out of ammo. Just this grueling 20-minute plus game. The Doom Wheel is not letting this Princess get away. It's just ramming the Princess as she tries to run. Thankfully for Lotus Moon, he is out of ammunition here, right? So the Silver Helms are coming in, the Caster's coming in. He's going to be committing everything, coming back in with the Dragon here. Definitely a little bit of good stuff here. And yeah, the Phoenix is looks like it's going to be chasing those guys off the battlefield. I mean, he is technically engaging because the Phoenix is chasing those guys, I think. You know, a little bit on the edge of things. I still think Skaven are going to take this one. I still do. I mean, these Silver Helms, they just can't do anything against the Rat Ogres and the Doom Wheel. And yeah, I think he's just trying to make sure these guys, these clan rats get finished off here. So he is engaging. He's fighting with the Flamespire Phoenix. And yeah. So this technically buys him time. He's able to fight these guys and, you know, get them off the battlefield. And from there, he can commit for his final battle. But I still think the Skaven are going to win. Like, I really don't think he has enough stopping power to kill all of these. I mean, the Mage actually is not a pushover of a combatant. So, yeah. The Doom Wheel was giving the Dragon the business. I don't know if it did much damage, though. He's preparing for the final battle. Because now that these rats are broken off the battlefield... Wouldn't it be interesting if you could actually withdraw in multiplayer? Like, if you could. But yeah, some of these forces come back, so the Phoenix is going to be engaging here to break them off, which is going to normalize the bounce of power a little bit. And yeah, that's the final battle is underway. I've said that like 10 times. Oh, okay. You don't count single models as attackers usually? Okay, fair play. Yeah. Fair play. So I'll let him know that after the game. But, I mean, regardless, the outcome is going to be what it is here. So, Silver Helms and company have to fight, and let me see what they say. He said... Just chasing routing units and I charge. Okay, yeah. So, anyways, here this is quite like a picturesque fight, right? You have the oh, don't you lag out? Don't one of you guys lag out? I swear. After all this, that would be nasty. So here come the Silver Helms and the Caster, and you also have the Flamespire Phoenix, and he gets his last Earthblood off. And yeah, I don't know if it's gonna do it. He's gonna go for a surround to try and break the leadership of these Rat Ogres probably, but man. And it looks like he's gonna be charging in with the Mage first. Mage is going to take the brunt of the charge. The Doom Wheel's going to countercharge here and probably do some work, though. So the Doom Wheel gets in there. Rat Ogres are going to be charging the Silver Helms, and this is it. The final battle. And I think the Doom Wheel and the Plague Furnace should be able to focus down the Princess. The healing cap is up, but he does break off the Rat Ogres. He does break those guys off. And the Dragon is going to be falling back, but just attack the Mage in the meantime. But the Rat Ogres break. Still, that Doom Wheel, ooh, it actually took a lot of damage there. The Phoenix is coming back in. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is nuts. This is nuts. So the Doom Wheel here is getting a little bit beat up by all the Silver Helms and company. The Greyseer. Oh man, the Greyseer gets a really nice bump and grind on the Princess right there. And oh, a nice Scorch effect coming down, which might actually break those Silver Helms off, getting rid of the mass. And you know, also the Mage is still attacking. So those Silver Helms are probably going to break. And the Phoenix has to come back in. It looks like it's going to be going into the Greyseer, but it gets like a little bit mucked up on the charge there. And a Terror Route would actually be pretty good. But the Terror Route, the Phoenix can't be Terror Routed, nor can the Dragon, because they both cause terror themselves. But the Dragon charging back in. Yeah, they're just fighting. Oh no, and he gets the heal. You see, that's what I was talking about. If that heal hadn't gone off, I think the Skaven might actually lose this now. Wow, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. This match has been wild, but the Silver Helms are terror routed. The Doom Wheel might be able to come back. I mean, the Princess is very low. If he had another Vermintide summon, that could be something. So the Mage is going to be chasing down the Doom Wheel off the battlefield. Now it's just going to be this guy. A couple Rat Ogres are actually back online, which gives the Skaven a little bit of something. Unholy Vigor. Unfortunately, it was a couple seconds too late to save the Doom Wheel. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, guys. Flamespire Phoenix. Yeah, cycle charging, I do not believe is cheating. Yeah. Yes. So, the Flamespire Phoenix is going to be chasing off the Doom Wheel. The Skaven still do have the Greyseer. But the, yeah, I mean, he's getting the Doom Wheel. He's being methodical, you know? That Rebirth won him the game, I think. If that Rebirth hadn't procced, Or if the Phoenix had broken off earlier, I'm pretty sure this Skaven would have just won this. But yeah, he's going to be getting these silver helms here for sure, most likely. They're probably going to get terra-routed off. So here they come. Wavering, -19, -11. Oh man, those guys might terrify off the battlefield. The princess literally has like 1,000 HP, but that, I think that heal just won him the game. Yeah. Yeah, man. That heal was it, guys. I really think that's what cost him the game. If he has another Vermintide summon, maybe he could get something, but I don't think the Furnace can take all these units, including a dragon. Yeah. That was brutal. No, this is a best of 5, guys. You guys are gonna get a couple matches here. Yeah. I mean, the terror, yeah, I don't know if the Furnace can do it. if there's another rat summon, maybe. If there's another rat summon, maybe. Oh, there's going to be more games. This is best of 5, guys. The Skaven are just rat clawing their way in. Oh my god. Jesus. Yeah. That's it, guys. I think the Skaven are going to lose this one. That rebirth was what did it. If this guy had actually died like he was supposed to, I'm pretty sure that the Doom Wheel wouldn't have broken off and stuff. So, yeah. Wow, what a comeback! Oh my god. I know a lot of you guys don't like that playstyle, but I mean, I have to double check the rules. There's a little bit of like gray area, but I mean, yeah. I mean, I'll have to talk to Shetland about that. But for the most part, I mean, yeah, that's that. But remember, he only has one elf faction left. He can only play the Wood Elves, like you guys said. But yeah, well played. I can't believe he came back there. I cannot believe it. Game 3. Jeremy says, GG, I know the curse. I now curse the moment I lost cannons. Yeah. I mean, I really thought Jeramis was going to take that early with the Warp Lightning play. GG. That was insane. I cannot believe Lotus Moon pulled that one back. Yeah, Lotus Moon says, I thought you had that. Well played. So they're in game 3 now. We've updated the scoreboard. We're going in. And it is time. Yeah, Pip, shoot me a message with that, if you could. If you don't mind, Pippington, letting me know the details. It's a little bit tough when I'm casting to notice all that. Yeah, if you don't mind. All right, so the next map we got to go ahead and switch. You can pick and ban or gentlemen's. All right. Yeah, so they can either pick and ban or they can gentlemen, so it's up to them. Oh man. Whew. Do you know what the prize? So this is actually a qualifier for the grand finals. I know, I'm getting to that haircut range. Yeah. Yeah, that was a crazy game. I can't believe that. I mean, I think when... Yeah, if he could have only kept those Warp Lightning Cannons online, he would have won very easily. Like, had he kept, like, one of them, like, that would have just been it. But a couple of those Shadow Warriors came back and were able to pick those guys apart. Yeah, I mean, the thing with cycle charging, it's not allowed if there's only one unit left. But the thing is he had Silver Helms still fighting. I mean, it's hard to say. That was a crazy game, yeah. Oh, I've had Jesus hair before, for sure. So Charamis is going to do pick and ban, so he's going to pick High Elves and ban Bretonnia. And Lotus Moon is going to go Wood Elves. Now, typically Wood Elves are relatively countered by High Elves in my experience. Oh, I've had my coffee. Let's see. 1 second, guys. Usually don't get to see that Firebird. Yeah, the Firebird regeneration was what won in the game. That was it. Currently, we're 1-1 in the series. It's a best of 5, so you know both players need to win 2 more games here, and they'll be earning the winner will be earning a piece of 8 for the grand final. So, yeah. 1 second, guys. Just fiddling with some of the settings here on the stream. Yes. Yeah, it's pick and ban now. They're going for that. They did the first two matchups like that, but yeah, I mean the Wood Elves. I think High Elves have the advantage here. I mean they are in Altdorf outskirts, which is a little bit of a shrouded map, but nonetheless. So a couple donations as well. Thomas Jones, thank you for the $20. Merry Christmas, Turin. Yeah, right back at you, man. Thank you for the terrific Warhammer community support and keep up the great work. Thanks for the many hours of entertainment last few years. Okay, and it looks like they're starting the game, so let me go ahead and get rid of the Wookiee blocker. Wookiee, thank you for your great help here. And we're going to be fighting on Altdorf outskirts. Which is time. It's time. Yeah, Dov played earlier. We had Dov and Gojira playing the initial rounds. We saw some Greenskins, some really crazy Skaven play today, but typically, High Elves are a bit of a natural hard counter against Wood Elves, in my experience. So this matchup should heavily favor the High Elves. But, I mean, you saw Lotus Moon come back from that scrappy game, so I mean, he certainly can. But, I mean, and also he does have the Reaper Bolt Throwers, or the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers, which means that the Wood Elves are going to have to engage those bad boys. Because he can simply draw on the Wood Elves. Both players, of course, have to be attackers. So, yeah. Vampire count mirror matches are the worst. They're the worst. Oh my god. Vampire count mirror matches are just like the most grindy, miserable shit shows. Oh god. Just like blobs fighting with Invocation of Nehek. And here we are. Yeah, you guys are getting to see a lot of Elves. And after this game, I don't think there's probably going to be any more Elves for the rest of the tournament because all three Elf factions will have been played. And also, I think Jeremis, I don't know if he's much of an Elf player. I don't think he's played him that much today. I would actually like to see like Vampire Coast with like some mortars and stuff. You know? So, blockers up for the armies of the High Elves. It looks like we have an entire front line of Lothern Seaguard with these silver shields. Oh my god. He knows what's coming, right? On top of that, he has a couple spearmen on the flanks, archers in the secondary line, archers here. He does have the Fireborn in the back, who are pretty much going to be a natural hard counter against any dragons or monsters play. Another group of Dragon Princes. I mean, this build is like tailor-built to kill the Wood Elves. Techless here with Nets healing. I mean, Noble here. And for the Wood Elves, we do have Sisters of Thorn over here in the forest. On top of that, Eternal Guard here, Eternal Guard here, Eternal Guard, Eternal Guard. And in the back, we have two groups of Way Watchers, Sisters of Thorn here, Deepwood Scouts, Waystalker, and on top of that, Glade Lord on the Dragon. I think, is that a Glade Lord? Yeah. And then it's also going to be a Spellslinger with the Lord of Life. So the battle's underway. Looks like the Arrow of Kernus is going to be going down, probably to shoot the Bolt Thrower, I would imagine. Maybe it's going to go after the Archers. And it looks like it does actually take out one of those Bolt Crews here. So it looks like Charamis is going to be reforming his ranks a little bit. The Arrows of Kernus raining some hot fire for sure. I mean, he's able to kill a couple of those Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers, but nonetheless, I don't know if it's going to be enough to write home about. So the Deepwood Scouts are going to be advancing, Dragons advancing as well, and here we go. I mean, we're going to see. I think the High Elf army has plenty of the tools. Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be, I mean, the nets are going to be incredibly powerful as well. Like if the Wood Elves get caught out in any like bad positions, the nets are going to be able to pin those bad boys down. So the Bolt Throwers are going to be shooting at the Glade Lord up in the skies. Lotus Moon obviously is aware of the situation, is going to be kind of dancing about to waste ammunition a little bit. I don't think there's any rear pressure coming in. There are some Dragon Princes hiding in the deep back, maybe probably searching for any deep vanguards or something like that. And over here you can also see that the Sisters of Thorn are going to be falling back as the Fireborn do posture themselves. Deepwood Scouts might be taking a bit of an initial engagement here. It's hard to say, they're still hidden, but the High Elves are going to be advancing here, and let me make sure they don't have a question or anything. Good luck. Oh, they're saying good luck, have fun. But yeah, I don't know, this is going to be really hard for the Wood Elves. I think that High Elves have a really good matchup here. He has a Noble as well, which is going to be very useful against the Dragon. And the first volleys of the Deepwood Scouts are going to be unleashing into the Fireborn here as the Spearmen and company do advance. The rest of the Elves are advancing. The Bolt Throwers in the back still going to be shooting in at the Dragon, might be able to make some okay contact. It looks like he does take a direct hit right there, which does a little bit of damage. And yeah, here we go. So the Fireborn are going to be pushing in, taking some fire from these Deepwood Scouts, but I mean, they still do have the cover of trees. In the forest, it looks like there's a deep kind of push from these Sisters. Now, if these Sisters are able to get back there and shut down the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers, that could be something that could put the High Elves or the Wood Elves in a very advantageous position. Deepwood Scouts are falling back as well. Some skirmishing going on with them over here, but yeah, nonetheless, I mean, the High Elves are so durable against this type of skirmish play. And it looks like the spray fire mode is going to be going down, and it makes pretty good contact with the Deepwood Scouts. Not killing any models, but nonetheless, it still does a little bit of work. And the Sisters are just kind of waiting for an opportunity to strike, and the High Elves just trading missile play. I mean, the Bolt Thrower shooting, Archer shooting, and both players taking a little bit of poke damage. But Eternal Guard are also in the woods. I don't think they're going to do a whole lot this game against the heavy cav, as well as the the focus fire from the High Elf forces. Sisters just kind of lurking in the trees, and Dragon is just kind of flying nearby, doing a little bit of poke. Fireborn are just mirroring the Dragon to make sure it doesn't kind of get in there and do its thing. But yeah, it's going to be a very cat and mouse game for sure. Both players are just going to kind of poke each other. The Waystalker, of course, is going to be just shooting, and yeah, I mean, he has a lot of ammunition. Imagine if Wood Elves had more powder, like how brutal that would be. But the Bolt Thrower does have ample protection. Charamus is being very, very patient. He's leaving the Dragon Princes in the back to kind of defend it. Spearmen here are going to be rotating over in this general direction. The Bolt Throwers are still just shooting. I mean, I don't know if they're generating a ton of value, though. It looks like they're actually missing the Dragon quite a bit. Hasn't taken a whole lot of damage from the Bolt Throwers. Teclis is getting, he takes a massive double arrow of Kernus, but he does have regrowth. That's the thing about Teclis. And he also is going to be using the Potion of Koroi, which is actually going to make sure that he doesn't have to use Winds of Magic. So, yeah, I mean, he's going to be able to eat those relatively efficiently. Those come in, another good attack there, but he does have the regrowth. So the Bolt Thrower is actually in spray mode. Should probably switch that back if he's going to be shooting at the Dragon. Fireborn lurking. Teclis is going to be falling back, and in the distance, the Sisters of Thorn are over here. Looks like they're getting a bit of a surround, and yeah, I mean, if the Wood Elves could pull out this victory, that would be pretty insane. Ooh, but the Waystalker actually getting a little bit caught out of position here. Now, if Teclis were to rush forward, get some of his heavy cav, a massive breath attack coming in from Lotus Moon and his Dragon, he's able to roast those Fireborn right there. But the Waystalker is getting beaten down, and the cav are charging forward, and there's nothing here that can really deal with the cav. If Teclis, but the Potion of Koroi probably put him on cooldown in that respect. Those archers got beat up, but the Wood Elves are kind of slowly advancing. The Waystalker here taking a bit of work, but the Fireborn are rushing through. If Teclis comes up and gets a really good net, that would be incredibly powerful. Dragon Princes, in the meantime, are just waiting and kind of mirroring those guys over there, and it looks like the Glade Lord is going to be using the Craven Othrema. So very, very good stuff. The Dragon Princes here are going to be taking a bit of work, and it looks like there's also going to be an Earthblood going down, I think. Some sort of a heal going down to the Fireborn. Regrowth, definitely a very good choice. You don't want to lose too many models. They are down to 37, but I mean, at least they're shielded and armored, right? So they're going to be somewhat durable here. Spray fire coming in from the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers is just kind of tearing apart these Deepwood Scouts in the back, and it looks like those Sisters are still kind of hanging, but Charamus does have a lot of reserves, right? He has the Dragon Princes here. He's being very, very patient in that respect. Fireborn do fall back. As far as their models, they're still pretty healthy, and Fireborn are one of those units that are going to be fighting till the bitter end. They have really, really good leadership. So in the meantime, the Glade Lord is getting poked a little bit. He's getting downtown here from these Lothran Sea Guard, and the spray fire looks like it's still shooting at the Waystalker. Now the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers are probably getting pretty close to running out of ammunition. I would probably maybe save it, or even shoot at these Sisters of Thorn here in the back just with the single mode. But Teclis getting beat up a little bit, and he just uses regrowth to kind of salvage some of his other units, and he's definitely going to need Teclis to win this, right? So the High Elves getting some good focus fire actually here on the Dragon. It's taking quite a bit of damage, but yeah, I would really like to see him switch to that single fire against the Dragon. The Wood Elves are kind of pulling back with some of these troops, but they're still shooting, of course. So the Glade Lord is shooting, the Waystalker is kind of running and shooting as well, and the Spellslinger with the Lore of Life, as well as his sister, is very, very patiently waiting in the woods. In the meantime, there are Spearmen and Lothran Sea Guard guarding these Bolt Throwers in the back, so there's plenty of ample defense here, and it looks like the Glade Lord actually does take a ton of damage right there, which is pretty wild. Yeah, look at this. He's getting melted down to like half health, so some of the Wood Elf healing is going to have to go off here. Teclis definitely needs a regrowth on himself. There's also some Eternal Guard here who, if they got Cycle Charged by Dragon Princes while they're not braced, could actually get melted like almost instantly. Lothran Sea Guard going to be fending off the Sisters of Thorn in the back, and yeah, this is a pretty close fight. I mean, currently the Wood Elves seem to be in a pretty good position. They're able to isolate the Spearmen in the trees, but the Spearmen are going to poke the Glade Lord a little bit, and the single fire is going to be switching. So all these archers going to be going in, and a net from Teclis here would be very, very welcome, but he definitely has to save some Winds of Magic to heal himself. Fireborn in the meantime going to be charging in. Looks like Craven Othrema is probably off, but yeah, this Dragon's taking a lot of damage. Regrowth going down. Charamus needs to be very, very careful not to make sure that Teclis doesn't get beaten down here, because Teclis is, oh man. Yeah, he's getting low. You need to be careful. There's a massive Widow firing line. Teclis needs to be like living in the trees, basically, like this entire game. In the back, it looks like Lotus Moon is able to pull some of his Sisters of Thorn out here and get a pretty good engagement on the Bolt Throwers, but also the Spearmen were waiting, and these Dragon Princes looks like they're coming for a full surround here. You can see he's moving them, and he's going to collapse. So these Sisters of Thorn are going to be 100% dead against this Dragon Prince play. So the Dragon Princes come in, You know, that's 1,100 gold out the window. So that's definitely a nice little grab, but he does shut down the bolt thrower. So there is some, you know, decent situations there. Ravenoth Rama going down on Techless, and he's probably going to die here if not get very, very low. Fireborn is still healthy. The dragon is in okay shape as well. Just heavy missile exchanges going on. Yeah, but that, oh man, sending Techless that far forward was a little bit risky. So Techless might actually fall here. At the very least, he's at his healing cap, so he's not going to do a whole lot, and he's probably going to get chased off by the Spellsinger. In the back, Dragon Princes do clean up shop. And you can see these Dragon Princes do shatter those Sisters of Thorn over there, which is good. And the Bolt Thrower crew is going to come back, so it's still going to be generating some value. But the bounce power is pretty damn even, for sure. Pretty damn even. I mean, yeah, the Waystalker's beat up, the Glade Lord's getting beat up. Winds of Magic is probably getting a little bit taxing as the High Elves do kind of advance with their Lothern Seaguard and slowly start to put pressure. They still have a Noble, they still have two relatively healthy groups of Dragon Princes. This Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower is scooting up as well, and but without Techless, man, setting him up like that was really risky for sure. I mean, just keeping him in the back as like a healing buff like thing would have been, you know, pretty good. But yeah, Lothern Seaguard and Archers are shooting in. They're going to be poking these scouts here. Spearmen have a bit of a defensive posture here to easily just kind of scoot forward, and it looks like the Glade Lord has healed quite a bit. But the Fireborn are going to be tough. Fireborn and Dragon Princes, you know, are pretty damn heavy. Cav in general are very good against Wood Elves. So right now, these Eternal Guard are going to break, and it looks like the Dragon Princes get the curse, so their melee attack is going to be lowered. But he's definitely going to need to bounce in and charge the back of these Eternal Guard here. I think that would be very powerful. Some Spearmen kind of pulling, but yeah, this Bolt Thrower is probably going to get taken out. But Lotus Moon charging in the front with his Glade Lord, who is going to be taking some arrow fire. But the Fireborn, the Fireborn need to intercept these guys right now. Oh no, wrong way, wrong way. This Bolt Thrower is going to get killed right now. Charamis needs to fall back and deal with the Sisters of Thorn back here. But it looks like they're going to be charging in, and the Bolt Thrower is going to get relatively compromised. But there is a Noble here. Fireborn can come in as well. These Eternal Guard are getting sandwiched pretty bad by the Dragon Princes, and Lothern Seaguard are going to be able to hold relatively well in melee, right? So, yeah, I mean, the Sisters of Thorn are going to go down, and these Eternal Guard are going to go down, but there still is a Dragon. There's a ton of Archers left, but, you know, how's he doing on ammo? Yeah, he's pretty low on that Waystalker. These Eternal Guard are getting kind of chunked down by the Spearmen here, and, I mean, Lotus Moon is doing a very, very good job against the High Elves, which is typically a very brutal matchup. Yeah, but the Dragon Princes are, you know, reaving in the back line. They're causing some problems for sure. But the Fireborn aren't going to be able to catch these guys. They should definitely turn around right now and maybe deal with some of these Eternal Guard who are pushing up. Dragon is pretty healthy too. And the High Elves looks like they're kind of faltering across the map, having some trouble. Maybe these Dragon Princes could kind of sneak around and kind of ramshackle some of these Deepwood Scouts back here. And some of the Archers are still shooting, but I mean, it's going to be tough. Fireborn are going to have to get a good surround on that Glade Lord in order for this game to go a little bit better here. Eternal Guard are advancing, and the Fireborn plus the Nobles are having to charge into Eternal Guard, which is very, very tough. And yeah, I don't know. It looks like the Dragon is going to be chasing into these guys right here. And the Eternal Guard right here are probably going to be taken out. But yeah, even still, I mean, I don't know, maybe the Dragon Princes should stay and fight here, or just peel off and get into these Deepwood Scouts. I think that could be pretty good. I mean, the High Elf Archers are still kind of holding and shooting, right? Spearmen are going to be fighting Eternal Guard. The Fireborn are getting very, very tattered, but so is this Dragon. The Dragon's getting pretty beat up. And these Dragon Princes should definitely turn and just fight the Spellsinger for sure. Ooh, nice Ravenoth Rama coming in from Lotus Moon, making sure those Dragon Princes can't get to the juicy target in the back. On top of that, we do have Lothern Seaguard, who are kind of holding their own, actually. They're able to fend off those Eternal Guard with some support. But yeah, there's just so many Wood Elf forces kind of advancing. But the ammo is getting a little bit low for the Wood Elves. Maybe this could be like the reverse of last game. Oh no, but a big breath attack coming in. And it looks like at the last second, Charamis is actually able to move. So he doesn't take that much damage. Noble charging in as well. But if he can pin in this birdie here. Oh, but is he going to be able to pin the bird? If the Noble can get in and pin this bird and actually start to kill the Spellsinger, that could be pretty huge. Lothern Seaguard are shooting in at the Glade Lord. And it looks like the Wood Elves are kind of clawing their way back into this game. Some Spearmen over here, the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower, some more Spearmen coming in over here. And ammunition is getting pretty scarce here. And, ooh, look at this pick. The Noble and company might be able to kill this Spellsinger with the Lord of Life. And if he could push that off the battlefield, that would be huge. So right there, you can see there's a bit of an awakening of the wood going down. Spellsinger's at -13, and the Noble is able to kill that guy, which is pretty wild, right? In the meantime, these Lothern Seaguard are going to be fighting Eternal Guard, which isn't the best situation. Fireborn and Archers are coming back across the map, but there's a lot of angry Wood Elves. Still some Archers coming back. I don't know, guys. This is a pretty close game for sure. And the Noble has jumped over here, I think. No, these are still just Lothern Seaguard fighting this Waystalker. But the Wood Elf Lord is very low. Bouncing power is kind of creeping back into the favor of the High Elves. But the problem is that Spellsinger is probably going to come back. He's not going to be able to chase it off effectively with the Noble. And yeah, I think if the Noble goes and assassinates a Waystalker now, that could be pretty good. Some Dragon Princes coming in for a bit of a rear charge here. Yeah, the Dragon's going to probably tear out this pocket here. And the High Elves just don't have a lot left, is the problem. I mean, they have a couple groups of Lothern Seaguards still fighting. Noble's coming back in. And yeah, Dragon Princes trying everything they can. Wood Elves are going to be using the last of their ammunition to try and take out this leadership here. And the Spellsinger with the Lore of Life actually flies all the way off the battlefield. -14. And it's going. And it's going. It's going. And let's see if that changes the bounce of power. It doesn't that much. I still think the High Elves are going to have problems just because there's so much left. But if the Noble can get the Dragon somehow, but yeah, the Eternal Guard are just going to grind these guys down. I mean, these Lothran Sea Guard are fighting pretty well against this Waystalker. But yeah, I don't know. Still some Dragon Princes coming in. They have 14 models. Really doing a good job. Wow, are they actually going to buckle these Eternal Guard here with these cycle charges? I don't think so. But I mean, maybe they can stabilize it. So the Noble's very low, and you can see as the Noble does start to drop, it pulls the Bounce of Power back in favor of the Wood Elves here. And it looks like he's actually broken for some godforsaken reason. I'm not sure why you would break there. Dragon Princes with some good cycle charging. In the meantime, the Glade Lord is going to be chasing down the Noble over here. And it looks like the Wood Elves are going to take that one. So that was a very impressive play for sure. Yeah, that was impressive. I mean, that's a very hard matchup for the Wood Elves. And he was able to take that. Obviously, Wood Elves are his best race from what I've heard and seen. But man, what a game. What a game. All right, so that is going to be 2-1 for Lotus here. And if he wins this, he's going to be earning one of the pieces of 8. So well played there. Man, he did a good job, put on a bit of a clinic there against the High Elves. That is a very tough matchup against the High Elves, and he was able to do that. I think the moment when Teclis came forward, that was a little bit tough. When he got picked off, he could have been kept back and been a little bit more cautious with that. Yeah, GG. Next game. I'll let him know it's best of 5. The High Elf Scout there. That was crazy. The Eternal Guard actually ended up winning that. Yeah. So we're going to see what they pick next. So Lotus Moon is going to ban Vampire counts, and he is going to pick Greenskins. So he's going to have to use the Spider Cav. Yeah. Yeah, the Bolt Throwers just didn't seem to cut it, did they? So Greenskins, and it looks like Cheramis is going to be picking. Let's see. Man. Yeah. Great series. Lotus Moon has been playing great all day, and so has Cheramis. They've both been playing high-level play for sure. So, crazy stuff. That was a really good Wood Elf game. That was beautiful. That is such a hard matchup for Wood Elves. And he was able to do that, so. You should play Chaos first, Patrick. Play, or Vampire Coast. Next map is... we got Pillar of Bone. Oh, did we already do Pillar of Bone? So Altdorf Outskirts, Oakenhammer. So it's Oakenhammer is the next one. Yep. That was a crazy game. That was a crazy game. Very well played to Lotus Moon. He did a great job there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to expect either against this Lotus's Greenskins. I mean, he's probably going to go very skirmish heavy, but the Greenskin skirmish isn't like as gnarly as Elf faction. So, I mean, maybe he's going to go with a more traditional build and mix it up. We'll see. Those Eternal Guards grinded it out. Cheramis is going to go Empire. Okay, we got a battle on our hands here, guys. Haven't seen Empire played in the tournament in quite some time. Jason Denny, thank you for the donation on PayPal. Wow, okay, guys. So Jason just came in with a fat $100 donation on PayPal that I just saw. So thank you so much, Jason. Oh, holy shit! Thank you, man. That is a fat one. Thank you for the early Christmas present. And Simon Benjamin and Ryan Clark and Passan for the 200. Man, I missed those during the game. Sorry, I was so immersed in commentary. So Passan with the 200 NOK. Ryan for the $6. Thank you. Simon Benjamin with the 20 pounds. And Jason Denny with the fat hundy. Jason, let's get a big shout out for Jason here. Thank you so much, man. Oh my gosh. This is going to be... You guys are in for a Sigmar reckoning for sure. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Jason with the steel chair. Hell yeah. Oh my god. Pistoliers don't counter Spider Riders that well in my experience. I think just spamming heavy cav, just go with like mass Empire Knights and Demogryph Knights and just like bull charge and cycle charge them into Oblivion is pretty strong. But I mean, again, there's so many different ways you can play it. You can even go with like crossbows and handguns. I mean, that's not optimal, I would say, but yeah, I don't know. This has been a crazy series. I have a feeling we might go to game 5. Goes all flagellants. Oh my god, I don't think so. That guy's just getting some water. No, we're good. That's games. Oh. Nose Lady Turin saying hello to all of you guys. Dzień dobry. Jak się masz? You guys want Grimgore? You really think Lotus Moon is going to bring Grimgore? Man, these have been crazy games. I can't believe that Skaven game either. That was nuts. It's like, yeah, in these like, you know, high level games, if you make one slip up, especially in these very tactical kitey games, it's like it's just over, you know. I think we'll probably see Wurzog. Wurzog is really good against Empire. Like, you don't have to worry about Spirit Leech spam from Empire to kill him either. And Effigy is so good against heavy cav. And you can, yeah. But again, Azag can just spam Spirit Leech and Fate Abuna the heavy cav as well. So there's some give and take there for sure. But I'm really excited to see this matchup here. Oh yeah, Crazy C4, you like that? We're not going to see Grimgore. Let's not get our hopes up. Okay, so Cheramis making some changes to his build in the last minute here. Yeah, I'm the dwarf. I'm currently doing a Warhammer Fantasy Battles roleplay, which is like Dungeons and Dragons with Lore Master of Sotek, and I played the grumpy dwarf in the group. Lady Turin plays a wood elf. We got Gojira is playing a human kind of outdoorsman. Italian Spartacus is playing a halfling thief, and then we got Professor Poen is playing a high elf wizard. Yeah. I don't think we're going to see Gelt. Probably not. I mean, Final Transmutation is actually not bad against Greenskins. Grimgore has a bigger axe than Wurzog, therefore he's a better pick. Oh, okay. Dzień dobry. It's the same in Russian as Dzień dobry. Good JD? Yeah. I know a couple of Polish sayings. You know, just from talking to Anna's family and stuff. All right, guys, here we are in the grand finals. Currently, Lotus Moon coming back from a 1-0 deficit, currently up 2-1 here in the series. And man, we have had some intense matches. So for the forces of the Empire, who are going to be led by Cheramis, we have Karl Franz atop Deathclaw. Definitely very good at sniping Greenskin Lords. Jade Wizard with healing, pretty much a prerequisite if you're going to be using Karl Franz. And he also has a Bright Wizard with Fireball and Burning Head. So it looks like he wants some tactical options depending on the build of Lotus Moon. Is going to be pretty good. For his infantry corps, he has 3 spearmen, so he clearly knows that there's not going to be a heavy infantry fight, and a lot of cav, so Demogryph Knights, Empire Knights, and the same thing on the other side, but the Royal Altar of Griffites. 2 groups of Pistoliers are going to be escorting each group, and man, this is going to be hog wild, so pretty cool Empire build. Just tons of heavy cav, tons of Pistoliers, definitely going to be pretty good against a skirmish build. For the Greenskins, we have Nasty Skulkers and Goblins, so Lotus Moon going with the lads, bringing in the Goblins, not expected, a ton of Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archers, Broken Test Mob, just boars, and on top of that, he does have a Night Goblin Shaman with, what is he? Let's see what he's going to bring. So Goblin Big Boss, Night Goblin Shaman with Itchy Nuisance and the Gaze, and then a Night Goblin War Boss for the Tormentor Sword. So pretty good army. Tormentor Sword's very solid at pinning down things, right? So if Demogryph Knights are about to get you, you can simply, torment them down and you'll be in good shape. But I don't know, this is going to be interesting. I feel like the Pistoliers are going to have a little bit of trouble against all these Forest Goblin Spider Riders. Yeah. I mean, but he does have some Goblin infantry. Night Goblins here, Skulkers here, so he's kind of splitting them up across the battlefield here. And it looks like the Empire's ready. I really think it's going to come down to Karl Franz. Can Karl and company snipe out the leadership? Karl Franz, obviously, if he's able to isolate that Night Goblin War Boss, is going to spank him into another dimension, like hardcore. And the Boar Cav obviously can't do a whole lot against Demogryph Knights, but with the support of Itchy Nuisance and Nasty Skulkers, they can definitely win. So I have a feeling that Lotus Moon is probably going to try and bait those guys into the going to try and bait the Cav fight into some of those Skulkers there. But yeah, I mean, Charamis should know that with the Pistoliers kind of doing some forward pressure, but 100 range on these guys. Pistoliers only have 80, so it's going to be tough. And Pistoliers also lose in melee, except against Goblin Wolf Rider archers. They'll beat the Wolf Riders, just not the Spider Rider. There is what is infantry? Yeah, who knows? Honestly, I would have picked Vampire Coast here and just like brought like a couple Colossus and just sat in just like, come at me, bro. But I guess he likes Empire. Yeah, I feel like Vampire Coast is super good against Greenskins and kiting builds. Vampire Coast can just sit there with mortars and Colossus and just cackle at you. So yeah, the fight's underway. Initial skirmishing, the Pistolier is probably going to push. The Empire has a pretty good mobility situation. I would probably, seeing this deployment, I would probably try and overload a flank, just like bull rush one side with your massive force, right? Pistoliers charging in against the Spider Riders, and it looks like they might actually get some pistol shots. Oh, but the Forest Goblin Spider Riders get the shot first. The Wizards, of course, aren't going to be pushovers in combat either. They both have 300 weapon strength and can easily kill like a Goblin Shaman or something like that. So the Pistoliers are bull rushing with the support of some of these Empire Knights, and it looks like a Gaze is going to be going down. There is healing here, and it looks like the Goblin overcasted. Ooh, he overcasted and actually beat himself up a little bit. Pistoliers are charging in, but ooh, he's got to be careful. Oh, look at that massive volley he gets on that Night Goblin Shaman, and the bounce of power immediately goes for the Empire a little bit. But ooh, you got to be careful. There's goblins here. Hopefully he's paying attention. The lads are ready. This could be a massive collapse. And you can see here that he now discovers the Night Goblin Shamans, but is it going to be too late? Goblin Big Boss charges in. And yeah, that could be a really tough situation, losing those guys that quick. In the meantime, though, he's trying to corral these forces. Empire Knights are going to charge him. But again, Skulkers are waiting everywhere. So Lotus Moon has the traps laid. Karl Franz is going to be pulling back. And these Pistoliers need to retreat before they get collapsed on. And here comes a Fireball, if I'm not mistaken. A Fireball coming in from the Bright Wizard, I would imagine. Oh, and it looks like it almost gets Karl Franz, and it swoops in, and it misses on the Night Goblin Warboss here. But the Pistoliers are falling back. Empire Knights falling back as well. Both players have kind of realized the situation, right? These Empire Knights on the far side, unfortunately, do engage against Skulkers. They do get some damage there, but it's getting pretty messy. Demogryph Knights might be able to charge in against these Orc Boys, which would be good, but Lotus Moon pulls those guys back ASAP. So both players kind of stabilizing a little bit from some initial shock. Karl Franz also going to be charging in, and if he could terror out some of those boars and chase them off the battlefield, that would be a nice pick. These Skulkers here, actually, Karl could swoop over here and kill these Skulkers, which would be pretty nice. I mean, Empire Knights are dirt cheap. They don't cost much. They're like 700 or 800. Spearmen are going to be rotating as well. Lotus Moon moving all of his infantry over as well. And it looks like the Skulkers are probably going to get broken off the battlefield, which is a nice little grab. Granted, they did good damage, but you definitely want to kill those guys and just pick them apart. Fireball coming in on the Night Goblin Warboss here, and it's a direct hit. Does some pretty good damage, so good play here from the Bright Wizard. I have a feeling almost all of the Winds of Magic is going to be used on the Bright Wizard to kind of just pick off the Goblin, and he's really not taking much from these skirmishers here. So the Empire is able to shatter those nasty Skulkers, which is quite nice. Pistolier still doing a little bit of skirmishing, but obviously having to fall back. Empire Knights are good against skirmishers as well with their shields. And the Spearmen are just kind of doing their thing, so Bounce Fire is pretty even. Pistoliers now are going to be chasing these Forest Goblin Spider Riders who are shaken, and here you can see the massive horde of Goblin Wolf Riders are going to be pouring in. But Demogryph Knights thinking about taking an engagement here? Wouldn't be a bad idea. Empire Knights charging in, or are these actually Pistoliers? These are Pistoliers. Another Fireball going down against the Goblin. And the overcasting from this Goblin Shaman here is brutal. Ooh, and a massive Fireball coming in and tagging that Night Goblin Warboss. Beautiful stuff right there, just kind of wearing him down. Karl Franz is just playing it safe, slowly kind of skirmishing with the Greenskins, just feigning charges. He has reserves over here. He has Empire Knights. He has Spearmen still in the shadows, so honestly, he's in pretty good shape here. And I think that Fireball is eventually going to be able to kill this Night Goblin Warboss. So a charge coming in here from the Goblin Wolf Riders. Broken Tusk Mob. Empire Knight's charging right up the pipe, but those guys definitely want to fall back. And he does not want to get his Bright Wizard pinned down. I mean, if he lost his Bright Wizard, that would be really, really catastrophic. So in the meantime, it looks like both players are going to commit to a fight here. Karl Franz definitely wants to get in there with the Reichland Runefang. Both Wizards going in. The Waz being popped as well. And the Royal Altar of Giffites and Demogryph Knights are going to take the charge here against these Orc Boy Biggins. Pistoliers coming in the back. And wow, this is a big fight here, but yeah, you can see there's some terror going down. Broken Tusk Mob going to be taking a ton of damage from Karl Franz. Skulker's a little bit out of position from Lotus Moon. But yeah, he might be able to come in with the Tormentor Sword and actually win this fight. Demogryph Knights on the other side obviously going to win that engagement. But ooh, that's a big wall, guys. That is a big, juicy Greenskin force coming in. Karl Franz pops the Reichland Runefang, but Tormentor Sword going down, which is going to pin those guys. And I think that commitment to that Alpha Strike was a little bit early, right? Because Karl, he might actually lose both Wizards here. It's tough because Demogryph Knights aren't nearby to help. There is Pistolier Overwatch Fire, but the Demogryph Knights are actually losing as well, it looks like. I mean, they're holding with Regrowth, but there is no healing for Karl and gang right here. But oh, look at that. Karl Franz gets a massive attack on the Night Goblin Warboss. He's going to have to rely on like a Terror Route or something. The Pistoliers are the only support over here he has. And I think this might actually be the Empire in trouble, but a Burning Skull's going down. This could actually save the Empire. So Burning Skull just going down the ranks. It's going to tear up those guys. Oh, wow, and a massive Terror Route going down with that Burning Skull coming in. and he might be able to kill these guys. Pistoliers charging in as well. He needs to capitalize on this. Pistoliers need to chase those broken test mobs off the battlefield. And Zemmergriff Knights are holding quite proudly, but the Skulker's doing a good job. Those guys need to get back ASAP. Karl Franz is going to be getting countercharged, but he barely gets back up in the sky. Goblin Big Boss still fighting, but the Pistoliers really need to make sure these guys, don't retaliate. But oh no, they come back, and it looks like they might actually be charging to their doom because they were trying to chase them off. Oh, that is tough. Karl Franz is actually going to be going for the Goblin Big Boss right here. On the other side, Pistoliers are going to be countercharging. But Karl's getting a little bit ballsy. He needs to get out of here. I mean, he needs to kind of reform his ranks and get his, his calm collective back. Because, there's a lot of scary engagements here. But that Night Goblin Warboss, a couple fireballs could kill him. If Cheramis is able to just, cast fireballs here and be very patient, he could be in good shape. But the Empire, Itchy Nuisance going down. Spearmen are now pushing forward. He needs the Spearmen. The Reiklin Runefang plus Spearmen is going to be really good. But Karl, oh no, Karl, be careful. Get back to your Empire Knights, because now he's going to get compromised by all these troops. Goblin Big Boss right here. You can see he's trying to pull back with Karl. But yeah, this is dicey. The two wizards actually tried to dive right here. The broken tusk mob did shatter, and he's able to do some work. But all these Greenskin skirmishers coming in, maybe another fireball effect could do it. But the Spearmen are really just pushing forward for Sigmar. Another Burning Skull on this tight formation would be very, very powerful. Karl is actually getting some good terror routing over here. Demogryph Knights are still fighting. Tormentor Sword going down. Royal Altdorf Gryphites could potentially get a mass terror rout over here, but the Night Goblins are unbreakable, so there is that. Empire slightly ahead on the bounce of power, but the Green Tide is just doing its thing. But these Spearmen piling in, I think, is going to be the difference maker. A big Earthblade right here would be very, very welcome because he can't afford to lose both of his casters here. That would just be absolutely catastrophic. But the Greenskins are shattering. Karl Franz and company are slowly starting to win this engagement over here with the help of these Empire Knights and the Royal Altdorf Gryphites. And the Spearmen are just kind of swarming in for Sigmar. What a crazy battle. So Karl Franz fighting. You can see the Empire Spearmen are coming to rescue their casters. The Jade Wizard, is he able to get any spells off? It's hard to say, but the Greenskins are in mass rout right now. And this Night Goblin Warboss. Oh, the Emperor is going to come in for the Alpha Strike, the Death Thrust to maybe kill this Night Goblin Warboss. Here comes Karl Franz. The Night Goblin Warboss is in the wrong neighborhood, and Karl Franz lands and just absolutely starts to slap up this Night Goblin Warboss right here, and he's going to get murked by Karl Franz. So he's in a lot of trouble, 371 HP. He's not that fast. Karl Franz should be able to chase him off the battlefield. And it looks like the Empire is probably going to take this one. I mean, I don't think that Lotus Moon has enough skirmishing to really, take this home. And yeah, he's going to chase all of this leadership off the battlefield. And the Spearmen coming in for Sigmar ending up here with a pretty good little situation. Man, this is a crazy cockfight. All these games between these two have just been so damn close. The Pistolier is charging. You can see the Bright Wizard's going to be charging as well. And the Night Goblin Warboss is, he's gone. He is gone. He is getting chased off by the Bright Wizard. So Lotus Moon is running out of resources a little bit. Night Goblin here. You have the Broken Tusk Mob with the Encouragement and the Goblin Big Boss. But it looks like Sigmar's Chosen are able to win the game. Oh my god. And that's it. The Empire with a fierce cockfight. Fierce. Karl Franz, the Emperor of Man, able to come in with the Steel Galmaraz and finish him off. So very well played to both players. That was a tense game. So many moments where both players almost lost it. And here we are in the grand finals. So I'm really eager to see what these guys pick. So Cheramis able to tie it up 2-2. Lotus Moon and him are in the grand finals. Let's go ahead and slap Wookiee up here. And yeah. Wow. And they're on the Iron Sand Desert for the last map. Wow. GG. All right, last game. Yeah. I mean, that was crazy. That was crazy. Grimgor would have fought that one out, right? Well, typically, Kev, I try and cast from the perspective of the aggressor, whoever's making the aggressive plays. So it might seem that way, but it's not the case. Yeah. So whoever's making the charges or going in for the kills with lords and things like that is usually who I'm going to be, casting from the perspective of. So Cheramis is going to be going in for, Cheramis is going to be going for the Dark Elves here, and he's going to be banning Tomb Kings. And let's see what Lotus Moon picks. I'm actually really eager to see what he picks. Maybe we're going to see a Vampire Count, Vampire Counts, or Vampire Coast. I feel like he would be good at Vampire Coast with Death Choppers and stuff. But again, Harpies are a pretty natural counter, but he could go with a Blitz build and catch him off guard. Iron Sand is a very open field map, so you have to take that into account as well. Oh, the previous matchups are really close. Yeah, you should catch up. They're very tactical elf games. Yeah. Karl came in with the Steel Galmaraz is more like it. What a crazy set of games. I really thought this stream was going to be over quick. And here we are in a best-of-5 finals. Dark Elves are pretty mean, guys. They are pretty mean. I want to see what... So Lotus is still thinking. He can't pick Tomb Kings, and he can't pick Wood Elves, High Elves, or Dark Elves. Nor can he pick Greenskins. So his options are a little bit limited. And he's going to go with Bretonnia. I'm excited to see what Lotus Moon brings here. I mean, Mounted Yeomen are okay, but I don't know if they're going to be enough to really punch through Dark Elves, Dread Spears, and Bleak Swords. It's going to be like some heavy Cav micro, I would imagine. Yeah, I mean, we're going to probably see some Bolt Throwers here. Reaper Bolt Throwers, probably. Maybe a Marathi or something for the Melkos plus the anti-large. Witch Elves to Rampage the Cav. Yeah. This is going to be it, guys. Yeah, make sure to drop a like if you guys are enjoying the stream. I mean, this is a crazy finals here. Man, this build looks nasty. This build from Cheramis is nasty. Let me go ahead and look at Lotus Moon's. It doesn't let me look at his. It only lets me look at the host. Because we're not in spectator mode yet. I think it was crashing for us, but they're fixing spectator mode in the Festog update, but it hasn't happened yet, so. Here we go. Here we go, guys. This is it. I wish I could play ridiculous music on stream without being demonetized. I wish I could just like play like ridiculous like final countdown and things like that. Yeah. Just bank me with that anti-large. That would be crazy if Lotus like subverted all of our expectations and went with like a massive like peasant build. That would be nuts. That would be absolutely nuts. I mean, it could do pretty good maybe, but I don't know. I mean, it's a hard matchup. I think it favors Dark Elves, but so did the Wood Elf High Elf game that Lotus Moon won, and he did a great damn job in that game. That was insanity. So, I mean, he's obviously someone who can get around the hard matchups. Yeah. Blessed Trebuchet spam. You guys want the lady to win? We'll see. We'll see if the Lotus can pull it out or if Cheramis is going to take it. Yeah. It is an awesome Christmas tradition. Yeah, Sotek's tabletop tournament was really fun. If any of you guys want to see me play in a tournament, I played in that tournament, in Sotek's tabletop tournament, because it was best of ones, just like you would play at a tabletop game. So, like, you guys, if you want to see me playing in a tournament, you can go check it out on Sotek's channel. Lore Master of Sotek on the YouTube. It was a lot of fun, guys. Yeah. Everybody wants Bretonnia to win. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't think there's going to be experimental builds. I think we're going to see, like, tried and true, like, tested builds here that are going to be solid. 9 peasant mobs and 10 trebuchets. Like a trebuchet in each corner of the map. Just like, oh my god. So Bretonnia should win this. Just spam so many peasants that the Dark Elves fill their slave pens and leave. Oh my god. Yeah, Sotek had a tabletop tournament. But it wasn't like... It was a Total War Warhammer tabletop themed tournament where each player brings a single list. So each player brought like... I picked Vampire Coast. I bring one army, and you can't change it the whole tournament. It's like a tabletop tournament. Yeah, yeah. It was go check it out on his channel. I played in his tournament. The games were crazy. I played Exploding Hamster in the first game of the tournament. Yeah, it was an intense game. And it's weird. Factions that normally are kind of weak like do pretty well in that environment because you can't like counterpick them. Like Skaven are easy to usually beat if you counterpick them, but I couldn't counterpick the Skaven, so I just had to like, yeah, and it was actually super difficult. Like you guys will see. Both players knowing this is game 5. Lotus Moon is ready. Can I look at his... I want to look at Lotus's army so bad. Oh, but I have to wait. I have to wait. Don't, there's not going to be 6 trebuchets. Yeah. Hey, Sotek. Lore Master of Sotek. If you could actually drop a link to that tournament in chat so some of these guys could see it later. I know a couple people were asking for it. Someday I will do tabletop battle reports. Someday. on my channel. So would a single list tourney be an idea? Yeah, I'd love to do it on my channel. But of course, with Sotek's blessings, it's his idea, so he'll always get credit for that. It's fun. It's like best of ones. It's very like fast paced, right? But yeah, someday I will. But yeah, I'd love to just keep playing in Sotek's. I actually like playing in tournaments. It's just a issue with my hands that I can't handle it, you know? All right, guys, here we are in the grand finals, and we're gonna have, oh man, this is gonna be interesting. Oh my god. So Lotus Moon staying true to his playstyle. I thought that once today he might subvert our expectations and bring like a mass infantry build, but no, he is straight business here. So for the forces of Lotus Moon, here in the finals, we have the Fey Enchantress, pretty good choice, healing, sustainability, 2 groups of Grail Knights as well, which are going to be doing some fierce fighting with the Cold Moon Knights and the Dark Riders. On top of that, he does have, how many Grail Knights does he have in totals? Grail Knights, Knights Errant. I said it right for once in my life, which are really good against skirmishers. They're shielded, they're dirt cheap, and they're armored, so it's not a bad choice. 4 groups of Mounted Yeomen, including the Wardens of Montfort. In the back line, we have a Peasant Bowman with the Poison Arrows, which are really good against Witch Elves and Sisters and all that style of play. So I really like Lotus's build so far. It seems pretty solid. Yeah, Cav build with Yeomen. On top of that, yeah, 4 Cav. I mean, this is going to be micro-intensive. Fey Enchantress is going to be very good here with her healing on the Grail Knights. They should be able to overpower the Cold Moon Knights, but again, it depends. Supreme Sorceress with oh, that's actually Marathi with Anti-Large Soul Stealer, and she doesn't have her other buffs, so she's been stripped down pretty cheap here. For the forces of Cheramis, he does have 4 groups of Dark Riders with their repeater crossbows, pretty much a hard counter against the heavy cav. However, they're going to be potentially countered by the Mounted Yeomen. They're lightly armored and they're outranged, so some give and take there, right? On top of that, 4 groups of Cold Moon Knights, Anti-Large, a couple groups of Dreadspears, Sisters of Slaughter, and Witch Elves. Now, the Witch Elf play is going to be what makes or breaks this game. If the Witch Elves are able to rampage the expensive Knights, I think that'll be the game for the Dark Elves, but if not, Sorceress with Spirit Leech as well. So from the Dark Elves, I think that's going to be a pretty good choice. And is she on a horse? Yeah, looks like she's on a Dark Steed or whatever it's called. So Mounted Yeomen are going to be pushing forward. The Dark Elves probably going to want to advance most of their force here, but the Yeomen are not going to do bad here. I mean, the repeater crossbows, if they're able to sit and shoot, I mean, can definitely outdamage them, 23 against 20. But it looks like he's able to fall back before much damage is able to be returned there. So Dark Rider's taking some initial skirmish. Marathi's going to be flying forward as well. And here comes Lotus Moon coming in with his force over here. He does have the Grail Knights and the 2 groups of Grail Knights. So he's very heavily overloaded on this side of the battlefield, whereas over here I think he just has Knights Errant. So, yeah. Interesting. The Mounted Yeomen doing some really good skirmish initially. Yeah. I don't know. Those Dark Riders are being out-traded by the Mounted Yeomen. I think he has to push forward with the Dread Spears and try and shield block them. He probably doesn't want to use any magic on these guys, I would imagine, but here you can see some Focus Fire coming in on the Sisters, as well as the Sisters of Slaughter. They should be pulled back as well. But look at that. The Dark Riders are able to get some good Focus Fire there and actually almost break off one group of those Mounted Yeomen. Marathi, in the meantime, she could actually be a bit of a distraction as well. Marathi could like fly forward and use Soul Stealers to heal herself up. So she could just strafe back and forth, eat the ammunition, and then use a big Soul Stealer on this blob. Like if she cast a Soul Stealer on the Wardens and took some damage, that would probably be one of the more cost-effective trades here. In the meantime, the Sorceress is going to be rotating out here, maybe going to be doing a Spirit Leech, although honestly I would just save for the Soul Stealers based on what I'm seeing. You should really cast one right now, like on this group. Like Lotus Moon is very bunched up. The Lotus Moon's going to be pushing forward. He does have his Wardens shooting in there, so very good stuff from Lotus with this skirmishing, and he usually pulls back before the Dark Riders are able to get some good value. A Peasant Bowman, though, might get focused down or chased down by the Witch Elves. In the meantime, these Spears are chasing down the Knights Errants with some Witch Elves in pursuit, the Sisters of Singing Doom. And also we have the Sisters of Slaughter going to be taking a charge from the Knights Errants here. So very good stuff here from Lotus Moon going after those very squishy targets. That was beautiful. Getting some massive value here. Dark Riders with their repeater crossbows might be shooting into those guys. They definitely need to. These Grail Knights or Knights Errant on the far side being chased by these expensive units. So far, a very, very pitched fight. Witch Elves are overextending a little bit. Lotus Moon able to get some really good focus fire on these guys, putting them down, so he needs to pull back. A couple slip-ups in that regard. And the Cold Moon Knights on the far side getting just trash canned by the mobile forces of Bretonnia. So Fey Enchantress and her blob able to do some really, really good work there. So Dark Riders scooting in, but they're going to be chased down. I mean, Cheramis needs to be very careful and fall back with these Dark Riders. So a big juicy volley right into those guys, but you need to run. That is such a tough situation. And looks like Cheramis is going to be coming in with a Soul Stealer, which is going to hit most of these guys, maybe, it looks like. Yeah, and it does get dropped in the Knights Errants. He's able to fall back. Deathcaster is going to be intercepting. And over here, it's looking like it's a little bit of a better engagement. So Sisters of Slaughter able to catch those guys. Witch Elves and Dread Spears here. It looks like he's also able to punish some of those Knights Errants. But Lotus Moon is doing some beautiful kiting. He's pulling back. These Knights Errants are getting kind of picked apart by the Yeomen. I mean, not Knights Cold Wind Errants. And the Dread Spears are also advancing to kind of screen those guys out. But this is a very pitched fight. Some of these Grail Knights getting dragged down by Cold Wind Knights and Dread Spears, so that's not a good situation for Lotus, losing those guys. And the Repeater Crossbows are in a very, very comfortable position. So both players just going tit for tat on blows. I would say Lotus Moon maybe in a slight state of advantage here, but these Peasant Bowmen are going to be chased off by Dread Spears. These Witch Elves are both in pretty good shape here, and it looks like both players are kind of getting their bearings. The Lotus Moon has lost these Grail Knights, however the Cold Wind Knights are being chased off by Lotus as well. So again, very methodical, making sure to finish off the units that he's able to catch. Some of these Peasant Archers might be caught here, which is not going to be good. And unfortunately, Lotus can't really defend them because there's Dread Spears chasing as well. So I don't know, though. This is actually a big, angry force of Grail Knights and Knight Errants. The Repeater Crossbows definitely need to start shooting at these guys because this force is going to be overrun pretty heavily with the support of the Fey Enchantress. So over here, the Marathi is going to be going after these Mounted DM and Archers. I definitely think she would be a little bit more welcome in this part of the battlefield. Fey Enchantress charging in. Oh, that's dangerous. Fey Enchantress a little bit compromised. There's Dread Spears here. These Repeater Crossbows need to sit here, and there needs to be a Soul Stealer. Marathi needs to be using some fat magic here. Very good Earthblood by Lotus Moon. He's able to drop that on the Ground Knights and all these different troops here. Dread Spears are fighting. They're steady, rampaging, but here comes the Repeater Crossbow fire. So that is going to do some heavy melting. Thankfully, the Knights of Bretonnia are shielded, so that's definitely a pretty good situation for them. Witch Elves coming in. Marathi's coming in as well. These Witch Elves definitely in a little bit of trouble here. As some Cold Wind Knights, are they rampaging? Yeah, the Cold Wind Knights are rampaging and chasing those Yeomen. So he's able to get some work. A very nice Soul Stealer coming in from Cheramis here. He's able to hit all of those guys. Repeater Crossbow fires just kind of withering down those Bretonian forces. God damn, what a close game. I think Lotus Moon is slightly ahead. I mean, he's gotten some really good picks. Over here in the distance, these Dread Spears are going to be rode down by all the beat-to-shit Bretonnian Knights. So you can see the Grail Knights, these noble heroes of Bretonnia, led by Lotus Moon, are able to do some really good work here. And these Knight Errants are coming in for a rear charge on the Sisters of Singing Doom. Now, if these Cold Wind Knights can intercept the charge and the Sisters can follow up, that would be beautiful. But I don't think he's going to react in time. I think he's committing to this Alpha Strike right here. So right here, you can see the Grail Knights and the Fey Enchantress fighting. Marathi's a little bit surrounded, though. That could actually cost them the game. But these Sisters need to get in there and start grinding a little bit. But these Knights Errants coming from the flank, doing great work, and there isn't much there to kind of protect against those guys. These Dark Riders are just kind of getting punished. In the meantime, Peasant Bowman over here doing a good job. The Sorceress is going in. But look at this. Sisters of Singing Doom coming in. They're probably going to rampage some of these Grail Knights, which is going to be very strong. But so far, I think Lotus is in a pretty good position. He is able to get the oh, look at that Chalice of Potions coming down on those guys. Good stuff here. Cold Wind Knights have re-engaged, though, which is going to be tough for those Knights Errants here. But there are some rallying Bretonian heroes coming in from the distance. And the Cold Wind Knights are still fighting here. Marathi, unfortunately, she doesn't have her debuff abilities that really lower the melee attack of nearby units. I think that'd be very, very good here. But the Sisters of Slaughter are able to take out those Grail Knights, and these Cold Wind Knights are able to take out those Knight Errants. So both players just fighting to the bitter end. Sorcerer's doing a good job. Repeater Crossbow fire coming in. But those Dread Spears are going to be able to hold back those Mounted Yeomen who are out of ammunition. So a lot of the skirmishing force of the what's called the Bretonians here is actually running out of ammunition at this point. So the Dark Elves are still fighting. Marathi, we got a sister on sister fight here. You got, well, they're not actually sister, but we got Marathi fighting against Fey Enchantress, and it looks like the Knights Errants are being taken down a little bit, but very good play fight from Lotus Moon here on the flanks, using these Knight Errants to kind of pick off the remnants of these Cold Wind Knights. Only 2 of them. I can't believe they're still fighting. That's insanity. Dark Riders are shooting into these Mounted Yeomen. They definitely should pull back and reunify with their main army because they're kind of get picked apart here in open field. And you can see here at the last second, Cheramis is able to kind of rally those guys. Those Yeomen are actually so close to breaking their 16, but a nice charge from Lotus. He's able to get those guys. Cheramis might be able to stabilize them. Here he does have Dread Spears fighting, so this is good. These Dread Spears are easily going to kill all these Mounted Yeomen, and Cold Wind Knights on the flank are actually chasing off a lot of the Bretonians. Now there's the Deathcaster. There's a couple groups of these Dark Riders. Marathi and company are able to chase down some of the peasants, but goddamn, what a close game. The Repeater Crossbows, I mean, if Cheramis can restructure those guys, I think he's going to be able to pull it off because the Bretonians are getting very tattered. But knowing Lotus Moon, he's going to be able to regroup his forces and get some really good Earthbloods. But man, Balance of Power is not budged. I mean, if anything, it went a little bit in the favor of Bretonnia, but Bretonnia does have a lot of rallying peasants and just kind of assets all over the battlefield, right? So crazy stuff. But Fey Enchantress is full health. Repeater Crossbows definitely don't want to be taking that firepower from the peasant mobs or the peasant bowmen in the back. Those guys are just the true anchors of Bretonnia right now. These archers definitely need to be get taken out if the Dark Elves want a chance to win. But like I said, I think Lotus is going to regroup his forces and get some really good healing. Marathi's quite healthy. She could be probably doing a little bit more flying back here, maybe chasing off some of these guys. And these Repeater Crossbows should probably go chase off these peasants in melee. But it looks like he's maybe going to try and stay a little bit higher and tighter. But the Sisters of Slaughter are just such a nightmare to kill. They're going to charge in, intercept the Knights Errants. Oh, and they actually get the charge. A couple of them being punted, but are these Knight Errants going to be caught? So it looks like Cheramis is going to be falling back. He's going to be swooping in with Marathi, who obviously is a very, very powerful combatant. And the Sisters taking some damage, but they're in grindy combat, which is where they want to be, right? And a very, very good charge from Lotus. He's able to get the remnants of the Grail Knights and gets a beautiful Bretonnian charge on these Dark Riders. Puts those guys down. Those guys hit like trucks. And yeah, we got a big pit fight. Oh, if Marathi gets a Soul Stealer here, she's going to have to. The Bretonnian healing might be able to give him the advantage here, but the Soul Stealer going down. Marathi's actually taking a little bit of damage from the Fey Enchantress and some of these troops here. And the Sisters of Singing Doom a little bit out of position as the Bretonnian Grail Knights are actually able to chase off a lot of those Dark Riders, which is beautiful. In the meantime, the Dread Spears are able to finish off the Wardens. They're probably going to pour through to finish off these Peasant Bowmen, but Sisters of Slaughter actually broke off here. Marathi's taking a little bit of work, but there still is a Death Sorcerer. Repeater Crossbows being chased off by Lotus Moon in the back, so man, crazy, crazy game here. These Knight Errants are able to catch the Dark Riders. They're still being pulled back. Sisters coming in, and it looks like the remnants of the Grail Knights being taken out, but, you know, Bretonia's looking somewhat healthy. Well, these Dread Spears definitely should turn around and finish off these Grail Knights. They have Melkos. Are they going to brace for the charge? Oh, it looks like they take massive damage on the charge. They're down to 600 HP. Are they going to stabilize? They're at 1 leadership, -5. They need some encouragement, and it looks like they might barely stabilize. The Deathcaster is still here. Sisters are still here. Is that an Earthblood? Looks like it might have been an Earthblood. So Earthblood coming down. Fey Enchantress is able to get away and kind of get a really nice heal on those Bretonnian forces. Dark Elves are just kind of running around the map with their repeater crossbows. Definitely should ride down these peasants if they can. But the Bretonnians pull ahead pretty far on the bounce of power here. Knights Errant here getting taken out. Peasant Bowmen being taken out as well. Sisters of Singing Doom. I mean, these peasant archers have just been doing heavy work this game, which is pretty crazy. Marathi's going to be dropping something here, I would imagine, or is that a Chalice of Potions? Yeah, Chalice of Potions doesn't do much damage against like single targets. It's probably just going to blow up his own peasants, I would imagine. Yeah, here it comes. And good night, sweet peasants. So those peasants got taken out there. In the meantime, the Sorcerers with Death probably going to go after these peasant archers. But the Dark Elves don't really have much left. They have a couple Sisters here who are being taken out by peasant archers. Marathi does have the Sorcerers with Death here, but it's looking like Bretonnia is going to take this one. So Lotus Moon with some beautiful play. I mean, I do think it's a bit of a hard matchup for Bretonnia, but his cap play was quite good. The Grail Knights and some of those other troops. So crazy stuff. So in the meantime, the Peasant Bowmen are going to be moving forward here. They're going to be shooting at the Sisters. Sisters are doing a good job chasing out peasants, but I mean, can Big Mama Marathi do this? The only way I can see it happening is if she has like one more massive Soul Stealer and she's able to force the fight on top of the Sisters of Singing Doom. And assuming they don't break instantly because they only have 600 HP. She does have a Sorceress as well. Might be able to get something, but I really think that I think the Noble Bretonians are going to take this, led by Lotus Moon here. What a game. For the lady. I know. So right here, it looks like Marathi is going to be fighting. Some Mounted Yeoman Arch, or some of these Dark Riders are still alive here. Some are back here as well for Cheramis. He could bring them back in, but Marathi, is that an Earthblood? Or is that a Soul Stealer? The Sisters of Singing Doom are wavering. They're at -23, -11, and it looks like they might actually break off here. He really needed those guys to kind of stabilize. But aside from that, the Sorcerers with Death is going to be coming back in. Marathi's quite a powerful anti-large fighter, but without a Soul Stealer, I don't think she's going to be able to do this here. Maybe. He does have some Repeater Crossbows coming back in, but it looks like he's going to get slapped with army losses, and that's going to be all she wrote. Wow. That's crazy. That is crazy. So the Noble Bretonians are able to take that down. I can't believe that. Beautiful Bretonnian play there. So guys, that's going to be it in the best of 5. So Bretonnia coming in with the steel chair and able to finish off the Dark Elves, which the Mounted Yeoman play was good. The Knight Errants were really good. I mean, it was just a very cav-heavy build with the Peasant Archers. Man, they just picked apart those Dark Riders. I think that was the biggest thing. And the Sisters and those other units really just kind of got taken out by them. So, yeah, crazy stuff. So thank you for the donation, Kimo Sabe. Happy Christmas to everyone. Thank you, Sotek Press Italian, for the videos that helped me get through the illness and exams. Well, you're welcome, man. Thank you for the donation. So well played to both players. Let's hear a big round of applause for Cheramis and Lotus Moon, and also to Dot Plays and Gojira for those beautiful games today. Those were crazy. Yeah, those were some nuts games. GG. Yeah, that cold one on the side, unlucky. Now, if it wasn't for the one cold one, yeah, because he kind of lost those cold ones on the flank a little bit. So, yeah, that was crazy. Yeah. So that's it, guys. That is going to be the stream for today. So Lotus Moon is going to be qualifying for our grand finals, which is going to be definitely some fierce competition. I am very, very excited to see those guys in action. The chairman says, indeed, very good Bretonnian play, and we will see you in future tourneys. Yeah, that was great. I mean, I know a lot of you guys don't like watching Elf play and kite-centric builds, but it is part of the game, and it's going to add a very interesting element to our grand finals. You know, to have very diverse playstyles and whatnot. So, Neuromancer, thank you for the 75. Good show, Turin. Keep it up. Merry Christmas. Hey, you're welcome. And if someone could link a Discord for the main Discord channel, not the tournament one, that would be great. Thank you guys so much for joining. That was a fierce cockfight. That was fierce. My goodness. Those games, like, that they had me on the edge of my seat. So yeah, guys, you'll be seeing some of those replays from the Sotex Tabletop Tournament coming up in the next week as well. Something else on the horizon is going to be the what's it called? The Who Would Win series. So we recorded another one. We have some really good matches in that one. Big Papa Grombrindle is going to be fighting in that, so that's going to be really fun. So that was fierce. So thank you guys so much for joining. Hopefully you guys had a good time. Let me make sure to do this. And yeah, if you could link that as well. Lotus Moon does have a Twitch channel. He streams quite regularly, so if you guys want to see that, let me get a link for that as well. I want to get that, and so if you guys are interested in like Elvish factions, here's a link to Lotus's. I mean, obviously you saw, and if you guys want to see him in action, I know he does stream quite regularly, so there's a link to that if you guys want to see him. There will also be a link to his channel as well as Dav, and anytime I have another influencer, creator, Twitch, YouTuber, I'm always going to link to their channels in the post game. So don't worry about that, guys. And please, before you leave, make sure to drop a like if you enjoyed the stream. And other than that, we will see you guys next time. All right, guys, take care. And I'm going to go play some 40K with Italian Spartacus. Cheers, guys.